Just give me a second. I'll start sharing my screen. Yes. All right. Wonderful. Let's go. Let me start with a little bit of refresher, with a little bit of testing your understanding, and then we'll move on. We did here yesterday. Okay, we'll start from here. Okay, my question to all of you. My question to all of you. When should I use an agent versus a simple OpenAI or any LLM model? Come on, everyone. When should I pick an agent versus an LLM model? We spoke about it yesterday to a very good extent. Okay, answers are rolling in. Lovely. Update information when we have to use memory and tool, when you want to achieve automated action, memory and tools, and you need to use tools, agent, memory, specific tasks. Actions are involved when we go with agents. If it has to think, remember, and act. Okay. When we need to perform reasoning, interesting. Tools, when you have a brain to think. Brain is LLM, right? Agent memory, model just processed, decided to work, do behalf of me. All right, cool. So again, I'll reiterate, LLM is just a brain. Agent is an amalgamation of brain, memory, and tools, right? Now, in the agent, you can choose different brains like OpenAI, GPT, whatever that is. And memory, you can choose simple memory or any complex memory setup that you want to need. Tools are nothing but the actions that agent can perform right within that particular node. Clear? Everyone, are you all with me on this note? All right. On that note, let's solve a very interesting problem today. And the problem is, again, it's the name of the solution we came up with is Jerry. Jerry is just the name of that assistant that we gave. We named it Jerry because we like it. Jerry. You can name anything. Tom. You can name anything. Tom, Sheldon, any character. All right. Now, first things first, what are the capabilities of Jerry? So we will go a little bit of reverse engineering today. We'll do a little bit of reverse engineering today. That is, the problem statement is that you need to build an assistant that kind of handles your emails, that kind of handles your calendar, that also can handles your meeting assistants, right? How many of you know about meeting assistants? Yes, new, nope, nope. Fireflies, I think Tactic AI, Read AI, yeah, Granola, correct. So what are meeting assistants? Meeting assistants are something like if you register, they will join alongside you or on behalf of you in those particular meetings and record that particular or audio or transcripts of that particular conversation, make a summary out of it, get some action points, get some transcript out of it, and give it to you. Right? That's the typical use case of a meeting assistant. Right? Now, here inside Jerry, We are trying to build one email, two calendars, three meetings assistant, meeting assistant. So the Jerry has to talk to all these three entities. Okay. So let's try to address one thing at a time. Let's start with email. And I want all of you to kind of brainstorm on what are the typical commands. What are the typical commands that you do or that you would like to converse with Jerry to perform some action in email? For example, something like uh, get me the top five emails of the day. This is one of the commands I might use. Give me commands. Come on, everyone. Give me your commands. I'll pick the ones that I like, and then we'll have essential ones and then move on. I don't need actions. I need the statements that you would actually use. So, mhm. Prioritize. All right. Okay. Most of you say compose an email to ABC client. Most of you say send email. So I've written it in a command format or something. Okay. Anything more? Anything more? Draft an email. Okay. Draft an email. If it's from manager, okay, very specific. Next, delete emails. Okay. Delete emails from XYZ. Okay. Next, come on. Summarize email. I think even Gmail app is doing right now. I think it should not like let's not do it. Send is done, compose is done, draft is done, delete is done. Can I also reply? Reply to the recent message from CDE client. Make sense, everyone? I think, can I say that this is an exhaustive list of commands to a good coverage? Like this is very much essential. Like this will get done at least 80%, 85% of the jobs. Yes, no, maybe. Everyone, hello, hello. Yes, all right. In the same form, in the same method, let's try to address the same commands for calendar. Come on, let's start. For calendar only, not email, for calendar only. Uh, Bhagwaj, if you're around, can you give me an option to moderate the chat? Daily meeting details. Okay, alrighty. First things first, schedule an event. Schedule an event with abc@gmail.com. Okay, fantastic. Next, attend meeting on behalf is already done by meetings assistant, right? Hani Sharma. Yeah. Come on, everyone. Come on. Reschedule. All right. Reschedule an event. Okay. Next, delete an event. All right. Delete a calendar event from ABC client. Okay, fantastic. Availability. Okay, availability at a certain time. Okay, nice. Anything more? Interesting. Can I also say, can I also say what's on my calendar today? Do you think it has a much more common use case? Yeah. All right. Can I say these are good enough list? I'm sticking to 4 or 5 right now to make some points across. But do you think this is a good exhaustive list? Yes, no, maybe everyone. All right. Let's go with meeting assistant now. Meetings assistant. Come on. What can you talk to Jerry so it can converse or talk to meetings assistant and get the job done? Minutes of the meeting. Okay. Minutes of the meeting happened. Okay. Next. Action items for me. Okay. Next. Meeting transcript. Okay. Interesting. Next. Summary of the meeting. All right. Summary of the meeting. Come on. Highlights. Similar, similar, similar. Next. Come on. Think, everyone. Think. Ask questions from the meeting. Okay. Make the questions. Okay. Make some questions for next meeting. Make some questions for the next connect. I think this is good. We good? Everyone? We good with the commands that we're trying to talk to the Jerry for interacting with meetings assistant, right? Now, now time for laser sharp focus, right? For 5 minutes. That is, now that we have created all these commands, now that we have identified, okay, what are the typical commands that I want to talk to Jerry, can I say that I've also reverse engineered, I've also understood what kind of capabilities that I've want to equip Jerry with? Yes, no, maybe. In some fashion, maybe not clear so far, but in a way I understood, okay, these might be the capabilities that I need to equip my Jerry with so it can respond. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. Maybe. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and look into that. Again, opening our N8N. Let's start with creating a new workflow. All right. First things first. What is the first step for any workflow? What is the first step for any workflow? Interesting. It's a unanimous answer trigger, and the answer is wrong. The answer is wrong. The first step for any workflow is planning, which is what just we did. The first step for any workflow is planning, which is exactly what we've done just now. right? Let me put that in here. This is a plan. Decision making. What tools, like what kind of skills we need to equip. Yes. What is the first step inside a workflow? What is the first step inside a workflow? Are you sure about it? You say trigger. You sure about it? More planning? No. I think the first step inside any workflow is a trigger. All right. Did you get the difference? Everyone, I just had a wordplay there. But it is very important for me to make that point across, because if you're just starting out your workflow without any plan, without any idea on what are you trying to build, trust me, it'll be a bad workflow. It comes with experience, right? So maybe eventually you'll reach a state where you're comfortable on directly, opening a canvas and just editing and experimenting right from there. But until you get that sweet spot, until you achieve that flow state, it is very important you put the pen down your thoughts on piece of paper or on a canvas, and then from there on, move ahead into what kind of skills that you need to build on step by step. Are we clear on that particular point, everyone? Yes, no, maybe? Hello? Absolutely yes. All right. Fantastic. Now, let's move on. Just like yesterday, let's try to create on chat message. You know what is on chat messages? It'll give me a conversation window to talk to my Jerry. All right. I'll keep it simplified. Now, first things first. Let's try to address the problem of email. Okay. Let's try to address the problem or interaction with email. Now, for me to, I need to do all these actions, correct? I need to perform all these actions. I need to perform or interact with different tools that is related to email. Just for the case in point, let's use an app called Gmail. Okay, to simplify our life, since most of us use Gmail. You can always use Outlook, you can always use different tools that are compatible with anything. Just find and figure it out. Now, what should I use here? Right after this, if I send a message, something like, get me the top 5 emails of the day. Get me the top 5 emails of the day. Right? This is my input. What should I connect this input to? Come on, think and answer, everyone. Think. For all of you who are saying Gmail app, right? How are you going to translate what command I should perform in Gmail with just a simple English? So that calls for a brain. Now, what kind of brain I should use? Just a simple LLM or an agent? That is the question. Come on, everyone. What should I use? Agent, LLM. Okay. The chat is divided. All right. Let me ask you a simple question. Okay, let's go back to our drawing board once again. Right? Let's say reply to a recent message from a CDE client. Okay, let's say this is your first command. Let's say this is your first command. Now, second, right after that command, if you say delete emails from the same command, same client. Let's say this is your second command. Now, I've given you the clue. What is the answer? 100% agent now. Correct. Because it has to kind of maintain the memory and context across my interactions, right? So that is the reason why we need an agent. Fantastic. Let's move on and let's click on AI agent. We'll click on that. And now, just like yesterday, it is already connected. We have a green signal here. That means it's connected and it is able to get the message as is. Now, let's go ahead and add chat model. First things first. Today, let's try with OpenAI. Again, GPT 4.1 mini. Is this okay? Everyone? Okay. Turn off the chat or only for host because it's distracting. Just give me a second. All right. Let me change the chat access to host and panelist. So you can only message me right now. I can see all your messages. So that way you are not distracted. Awesome. Now, all right. Now, let's get into GPT 4.1 mini. Again, this is a by default model that is selected. My question to all of you is, should I use GPT 4.1 mini or GPT 4.1? My question is just this. Get me the top 5 emails of the day or the latest 5 emails of the day. Am I dealing with, let's say, 200 lines or 300 lines of English? Right? Simple question, correct? Mini should be fine. All right. Now let's go to memory. Simple memory. Now, again, by default, the value will be 5 here. My question to you, should I keep it 5 or should I have to change it? Come on, everyone. It's fine. It's fine. Keep it. Keep it. 5 should be good. Okay. Okay. For example, let's say you are the person or you are the person who kind of ask or give commands based off of a single client, let's say for 5 6 times. Maybe for you that number is 10, right? But like what are the odds or what are the times where you ask the same question about or you command for a same client for regarding the emails to Jerry like consecutively 5 to 6 times? It's very rare event, right? So that is the reason why let's keep it 5. It's a balanced number. It does not increase any that much of a cost. At the same time, it will also save our memory. Now, once OpenAI chat model and simple memory are done, right? Now let's get into the action of our tools. Okay. So as I said, AI agent is capable of AI agent is capable of talking to different tools. Now let's explore what those tools are. Let's click on this plus button again. Now here I'm going to search for Gmail, right? If you see Gmail tool, if I click on Gmail tool, you'll get a tool directly from Gmail. Okay, it might be asking for login. Let's see that. And now if you see carefully here, read these particular 3 options which will be consistent across Gmail tools. All right. First is resource. What is my resource? I'm dealing with message, right? Now, in the context of N8N, right? Inside Gmail, the jargon is message. It's not like N8N does not say it's email. It just says it's message. So remember that message equals to email in the context of N8N inside a Gmail node. Make sense? Everyone, right? Hello? All right. Now, what is the operation I'm trying to do with that particular email? I'm trying to send an email. Okay. Now, this is the fantastic part about N8N agent. That is, I don't have to define to address explicitly, right? All I have to do is click on this star icon or sparkle icon and ask the N8N agent to define itself by the model. If I click on this, this will be this is defined automatically by the brain in the runtime during its command time. Make sense, everyone? Hello? Yes? So this is one of the most easiest way of simplifying your life with N8N. right? You put an agent, ask it to define the to address, the subject, email type. Let me keep the email type as text and message as message, the body of the email, right? And this completes our execution or our configuration of send operation inside a Gmail via an agent. Is this straightforward, everyone? Is this straightforward? That is, I've just connected a Gmail tool. I've configured it. I just ensured it's connected to my right Gmail account. I've checked if the resource and operations are as per my requirements, and rest all of things I've handled directly by my model. All right. Now, since the agent tool is flexible enough, so if you watch carefully in the same configuration, if I click on drop down, you'll get so many operations that I can do with the same tool, right? Since it gives me a drop down based off of tools, I can always clone this and just change the operation for next tool. For example, what is the thing that we have done here? First, I have done this. The second part is done. Compose an email to ABC client. I've given an agent an ability to compose an email. I've said to address is automatically defined depending on the command. The current command is not related to send emails. It's just about reading emails. Subject and message is automatically handled by agent. All right, everyone. Now, what will I do? I will copy this, Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V. The same shortcuts, copy paste shortcuts. Now, if you see automatically, I got another duplicate version of this particular tool. But the best part about this is if I double click on this and if I go inside the configuration, now let's try to address the second part. Get me top 5 emails of the day. Can I say that this is related to reading emails? Everyone, can I say that get me top 5 emails of the day means that I have to read emails in my inbox? All right. Yes. So here, what will I do? Is click on the operation, drop down, and I will write reading email. So reading is as good as get many. Okay. Reading is as good as get many. Now here again, there's a sparkle icon. It is asking, Akhil, should I return all? I don't know. You define. You have a brain, you decide. That's what I'm saying essentially here. All right. Now, if you see this particular tool is hanging around in the canvas, I just have to drag and drop the plus button to this particular tool. Is this straightforward? Everyone, once again, is this straightforward? Now, let's do the same action here for drafting an email. Now let's do drafting. Okay. How do I do the drafting? What does it mean by return all? So it is asking, Akhil, should I return all the emails in your inbox? Right? It will be a very delayed process. Like if you just ask for five emails of your inbox, why should you return all the emails from that inbox? Correct? I'm asking agent that, hey, you have a brain, you decide. I don't care. Now, again, copy paste as is. Let's double click on this. Now here, the operation is draft. Okay. I will search for draft here, send. We don't have any draft here. So when you have an operation that you want to check, but you don't find inside the operations drop down, you'll have to go a level above. That is in the resource section. You'll have to see at the resource hierarchy. Okay. Now we'll click on this. Now see, can you all see you have a draft option already here? If I click on this and on a draft, you can perform some operation, right? And that operation is I want to create a draft. Is this clear, everyone? Now the resource is draft and the operation I'm performing on that resource is a create operation. So here again, inside subject, I will ask agent to define. I'll ask agent to define the message. So draft is also taken care of. All I have to do is drag and connect that agent tool to this draft tool. Okay. Now, again, copy paste. We'll do that. Now here, what is the next thing that we need to do? Delete an email from XYZ. All right. Now, what am I dealing with? I'm dealing with an email that is already sent. It's not the draft. So I'll click on the resource. I will go to message because it's an email. And on an email, I will have to delete it. Correct? Now, if you look into this, if you look into this, do I have an email ID that I need to delete? Do I have a message ID that I need to delete? Yes, no, maybe. Do I have it handy? No, I don't have it handy, right? Can I say that for me to extract a message ID of a particular email, I have to read the emails first in my account? Yes, no, maybe. Can I say that if I have to extract emails, so this calls for a message ID. It says that Akhil, I can only delete this if I have a message ID at my hand. Can I say that message ID only happens if I read emails in my account first and then extract the message ID based on their email in focus? Correct. Once I get the message ID, I'll just have to incorporate or dynamically insert the value here. So agent will automatically delete that email. Make sense? So what will I do is I'll have to remember this instruction or I have to just make sure about this. So we'll handle this later. Okay, for now I'll say, okay, let's just assume we've got message ID. Agent will automatically fill that particular text box with the message ID at hand and delete that particular email. Again, drag and drop. All right. Now, what else? We have reply to a recent message. Okay. Again, copy, paste. Let's double click on this. We are dealing with the resource that is email once again, and the operation we have is reply. Now, again, if you look into the reply, it always asks for message ID, right? We don't have message ID. For now, let's assume it's automatically read. But also for reply, I should read emails first and then get a message ID. Message, let's say you, agent, you have a brain. So you decide what kind of message to reply with. All right, clear everyone? And then I'm again doing a drag and drop operation here. So this completes to have an email agent or an agent that deals with all things email, correct? Everyone? Right? Now, can I test this? Will this work? It's a question. Let's test. Will this work is the question. Think. I've given everything, right? I've given an agent, a brain, a memory, a toolset to perform, and a chat box to receive. No output. No, agent is going to perform action in these tools, right? Automatically. Why do we need an output? Why do we need an output? Yes, it'll work, right? All right. Perfect. Let's test. Everyone, give me a final heads up. Yes, no, maybe. Come on. Hello. So it'll work. You say it'll work. 100% it'll work. Lovely. I like that confidence. All right. For all of you who said it'll work, you all are wrong. Why? Why? Let me tell you a problem here. I've given agent tools. I've given agent the brain. I've given it memory. But did I tell an agent on when to use a tool at what point? So can I say that the agent does not have system instructions or system prompt? Correct? So that's the reason why it will not work. Clear? All right. Let's go to agent. Now, I will add an option called system message. All right. I will click on this. Now, instead of having a fixed option, I'll click on expression. So I'll get an expandable window. This is the expandable window on the top, bottom right. Yes, I'm going to say that you are an email agent that handles all things email. If the user asks for sending an email, I'm going to say use send email tool. Make sense? Very straightforward prompts, nothing fancy. You can always, kind of figure out or fine tune the prompt as per your requirement, right? If the user asks for getting few emails, reading, getting or fetching few emails or summary of few emails, use the get many e- get many messages tool. You can always rename this tools. So this is, see, if you see send a message in Gmail, get many messages, created draft, these are by default names given to this particular tools. You can always rename to saying reply emails, right? And when you rename, you'll have to be careful on modifying those names in your particular instructions, right? I'm gonna say if the user asks about for a draft email, use the draft tool. Now, this is very much important. Okay. If the user asks for either delete or reply, right? Remember, everyone, first read the emails. First read the emails and fetch the message ID. Message ID for the email in focus. Then perform necessary operation, that is delete or reply, using the appropriate tool at hand. Make sense? Is this prompt clear, everyone? Is this prompt clear? You are an email agent. If the user asks for sending an email, use this tool. Getting or fetching new emails or summary, use this tool. For drafts, use this tool. If it's either delete or reply, since I don't have message ID at my hand, all I'm saying is first read the emails. First read the emails using get many messages tool. Okay, get many messages tool and fetch the message ID for the emails or email in focus. Then perform necessary operations, delete or reply using the appropriate tool at hand. All right, cool. When do you add that? How often the agent will check or run this? Depending on your command, Larissa. What is the message ID? Message ID, like, so inside Gmail, every email comes with its own email ID or message ID that is unique for that email inside your account. So that's how Gmail tracks all your emails, right? So message ID is a unique ID that will let you pinpoint that particular email at focus. All right, perfect. Now can I test it? Now can I test it? 200% it will work. Okay. Do you think this will really work, everyone? Or are we missing something? All right. Most of you say, let's try. Most probably it'll work. Okay, let's try. Uh, Draft an email saying this is a wonderful N8N Jerry masterclass. All right, clear? Let's see what happens. Enter. I've hit enter finally. It says, can you see it now, everyone? It has accessed the OpenAI chat model. It have followed the instructions. It got something into the memory. It also says that Akhil, I have used created draft tool as per your instructions, right? And let me check. Let me go and check my account. Just give me a second in here. I'll show that to all of you. All right. Here is my draft. Let me share that to you. Yeah. Can you see my screen, everyone? Can you see my screen? There's a subject, and this is a wonderful N8N Jerry masterclass. Right? Is it working? Yes, everyone. So what did I do essentially? I've I have equipped agent with the necessary tools that it needs during, like, while it takes some commands, so it will not second guess. And I've also instructed specifically to for the agent to use certain tools as per the requirement. Clear, everyone? Are you all good with email agent until this point? Yes. All right. How do you modify names? Okay. Double click on this and just go to the reply or this section and just say, click on this. Reply to emails, right? And that brings me to a very important point here. That is, when you often take workflows from, N8N templates or someone who already built, if you're trying to read them, right? Most of the times they will rename this particular tools as per their liking. Most of the times they will rename this to, for example, email replier. Okay, email replier. You just get the hang of what this tool is performing and double click on this and see inside what essentially it's dealing with. What is the resource and what is the operation? Do not go with the name. Email, like the names will confuse you, especially you are reading some others workflow, some other things. Right? Make sense, everyone? Do not go with the name. Just click on that particular node and see what's happening inside the node, inside the configuration. That will give you a clear understanding and it will not make you second guess. Everyone, are you all with me with this point? Yes. All right. Now we are moving on to a very interesting discussion. Right? Now we are moving on to very interesting discussion. That is next point. That is, we have done with the email. We've done with the email. All right. Looks good. Now I want to start with the calendar. Correct? Now I want to start with the calendar. Now what should I do for calendar? What should I do for the calendar? Planning is already done. Steve, come on, what should I do for the calendar? Add it as a tool, add tools, add tools, add tools. All right. You can always add tools as a calendar. That is not a point. The problem here is after 10 to 15 tools within an agent, about 12, I think that's a good point. After 12 tools, agent's efficiency will reduce. by definition, agent's efficiency will reduce because it has to deal with 12 tools all of a sudden, right? So can I say that it is very important for me to bucketize the scope of an agent and I just say this is an email agent, right? Now what does that imply? What should I do next then? Calendar agent. Fantastic. Where should I add that agent? Should I add it here? All right. Okay. Let's add here an agent. Let me put it as is for now. Let me call this calendar agent. Okay. Fantastic. Now, my question to all of you. How to save the workflow as file and how to access in time. Dhanush, please don't spam. I'm reading your question. You can click on the top 3 buttons and download. That is all. All right. Next. Okay. What should I do, everyone? Will this work? Will this approach work? Let's say if I have, let's assume we have connected all the tools necessary for calendar. What happens? You would need to filter trigger commands. Okay. Come on, everyone. If I say, okay, what is the command that I have it is at my hand? Schedule an event with, let's say, akhil@gmail.com. Right? What happens when I send that message? Assign resources for email. It won't do anything. Need to add brain. It goes to email agent first. Okay, read the emails. Absolutely. Can I say that if any command is related to calendar, it will always pass through an email and it will ruin my credits here? Yes, no, maybe. Can I say that for any question related to calendar, the command will always pass through the email agent. It will unnecessarily ruin my credits or eat away my credits. Correct? All right. So what is the other option? Can I connect them in parallel if not in series? Can I say that I'll connect them like this? Yes, we can do that. Okay. All right. Perfect. Now my question to all of you. If I send any question related to calendar, don't you think again it will broadcast to email anyway? The problem still persists? Yes. Okay. Someone says, Akhil, we need to route or filter it. Okay. You tell me how to filter it. You tell me how to filter it. We can use if else, switch. All right. Filter trigger. Okay. If I were to add a filter, all right. Can I say that I need to provide a keywords that are part of the email or the command? Yes, no, maybe. Correct. I need to detect the keywords inside a command, right? Yes. So let's say, get me top 5 emails of the day, right? You understand that this particular statement is related to read operation, correct? You understand. But how do you categorize this particular statement as a read statement or email statement? My point is, can I say that for all the statements, for all the commands that you were to or that you intend to kind of give to Jerry, don't you think you'll have to manually add all the keywords one by one? It could be 10,000 also, right? So is this a good approach? Is this a good approach of adding keywords one by one manually? What should I do? What is that ability that gives me to understand a natural language? All right. Okay. Interesting. You say that, Akhil, let's add an LLM. Let's add an OpenAI node or something. What happens after that? What should I do? What should I do? You mean to say, Akhil, again, the same problem? All right. People say that, Akhil, you can do one thing. Once you get an LLM, once the command is of LLM, the output of the LLM should be either email or calendar. If it's email, have a filter here that will route it to email. If it's calendar, that will route it to calendar. Is that a good idea? Everyone? Text classifier, yes. Is that a good idea where the LLM will get the input statements and categorize into a bucket saying this is related to email, so go and deploy. This is related to calendar, so go and deploy. Correct? And then depending on the output, you will just filter that particular and channelize that particular command. Is that a good idea? Everyone? All right, fantastic. Now, let me ask you another question, right? So if you look into this particular Jerry, Jerry as a construct, Jerry as a concept or entities that are present here, whatever we have defined here are isolated commands that are related to email, calendar, and meeting assistant. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. This is an isolated commands. But let's say if you have a person, let me ask you this question. If you have a person who is working with you, who can handle your emails, calendars, and meeting assistant, would you do an isolated command or would you be like, hey, get me the five latest emails of the day as well as, schedule an event with this particular client today? Yes, makes sense. Everyone, you'll give a command that is composite or compound in nature. You'll not do just an isolated commands. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. You will give a complex command. Absolutely. You'll be like, hey, get me that meeting action items and as well as schedule an event to the calendar and also send an email to this particular guy. Right? Now, in that regard, if I'm sending a complex command that involves either email, calendar meeting, if I have a filter option like this, if I have a filter option which either only directs to email or calendar, do you think will for that complex command input my system will work? For a complex command input where I'm sending to perform an action that relates email and calendar, will this classification or this routing process work? Absolutely not. Correct? So this is also out of the box. What are we supposed to do? Okay. I'll give you an idea. Just listen to this carefully. I'll give you an idea. Listen to this carefully. Right? Let's take an email agent here. All right. Let's take an email agent here. Watch this pattern. What did I say? Let's say if you want to create or if you want to delete an email, I've instructed agent to first use this tool, correct? Get the information of message ID and then use that message ID in this tool to delete that email, correct? That's exactly what I've given in the instruction. Everyone, if someone says delete an email from ABC client, in the system message for an email agent, I said that first get the message ID or email ID of this tool and then get the information and use that information in delete a message tool to delete that particular email, right? Can I say that agent is capable of handling two tools at a time and kind of make them talk between each other somehow? Agent is reasoning out itself, right? In that same fashion, in that same fashion, Would you appreciate if these two agents are connected to another agent which is managing them? Don't you think that will be a really good pattern, just like this? Right? Makes sense. We did not directly come to that conclusion that we need an agent that can manage these two. We've done thorough elimination and reductions. Like we have done all the trials that we need, but it will not work for our robust use case. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone? Absolutely. Fantastic. So let me just delete this for now. I'm gonna add, I'm gonna add a master agent. Okay, let me just add this as a master agent. I'll call it master agent. Yeah, this is technically our Jerry in a way. Okay, I'll connect this to this. Chat model. For chat model and simple memory, I can just copy this, direct connect this. I don't have changed the configurations because the configurations would be more or less same, right? Well, I'll come back to that shortly. Now here, what I need a tool that is agent, correct? Everyone, I need a tool that is agent. So it can manage like this. It can manage like this. So what will I do? I will search for a tool called agent. Now, this is latest N8N update that they gave AI agent as a tool to another agent. Earlier to this, we have to create different workflows and make them talk to each other. But this is a brand new tool that was introduced that makes your life really, really easy, right? Now, if you look at the configuration of this tool, the master agent has a square UI, the tool has a circular UI or squircle UI, but the rest of the operations or configurations really same, right? All I have to do is delete these connections. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. All these are already done, right? That is the power of N8N. You can just connect all of this as is because the configurations will not change for these tools or the models or the memory. Those are independent of each other. Now, I should also copy the email agent system prompt and paste it here. Sorry, inside the system prompt expression. All right. Now, my question to all of you, where is the input for this email agent coming from? Who is giving commands to this email agent? Who is giving commands to this email agent? Absolutely, right? So can I say that let master agent define this input prompt for this email? Make sense? You don't have to worry about what input to drag and drop, what to connect and all that. That is the advantage of an agent. The moment you insert an agent, any tool that you have at its disposal, you can always make it defined automatically by that agent's brain. In this case, the master brain. All right, I can safely remove this email agent, save this, little tidy this up so it'll look something like this. Is this clean, everyone? Is this straightforward? Let me call it as email agent tool. Yes, fantastic. Now, a couple of things to note here. Can I say that master agent should have a little bit of more context window compared to the sub agents? Yes, no, maybe. Is that a true statement or a false statement? True, correct. So I'll just for the safe side, I'll keep it 10 because it has to handle context across email, calendar, and meetings. Okay. All right. Now, under OpenAI chat, can I also say that master agent should have a little bigger brain to kind of handle different contexts and reason out itself? Yes. Perfect. Let me keep it as GPT 4.1 instead of mini. Keep it GPT 4.1. That's all. Save it up. Okay. Now, what did I do? Master agent has a good amount of brain, a bigger brain, and a bigger memory. So it can reason out itself to handle or keep in context of different things across meetings, calendars, and emails. Right? Now, someone was asking why is this email tool in a real rounded form and then this is in a square form? Because this is an action node. Remember AI agent action node, but this is a tool node for that agent. So hence the differentiation in UI. So you as a developer or an expert will understand, okay, these two are isolated and these two are different in nature. All right, everyone, are you all with me until this point? Yes, fantastic. Now all I have to do is clone this. Let me clone the email agents and other things. Let me just get this in here. All right, let me copy this and paste it here as is, right? I've selected the portion of nodes that I know that I need to copy anyway, right? I'll drag and drop this tool here. I will name this tool as calendar agent now. Okay. I don't have to change the model. I don't have to change the simple memory because both are same as per the email. I just have to save it and boom this up. Clear? Everyone? I'll do the same operation for meeting agent, meetings agent here as is for now and keep it there. Of course, we're not dealing with that until now. Drag and drop the tools again. All right, fantastic. Save this up. Okay, let's watch this carefully. Now you know calendar agent, right? You don't have to deal with the inputs. Master agent talks to the calendar agent automatically. Now let's just address the tools that we need to equip our calendar agent with. Okay. Now let's just address the tools that we need to equip our calendar agent with. Okay. Why so many memories? Because calendar agent also has to remember what did you talk earlier, no? Yes. Perfect. Now let's start with tools that we need to equip. Schedule an event is an action that we need to perform with calendar agent. All right, let me click on this tool and I'll search for, again, we'll use Google Calendar node for here. Google Calendar tool. Now, resource is event, operation is create. Is that the same operation we're looking at? Schedule an event is as good as create an event, correct? Everyone? Now I'll select the calendar to which it has to schedule the event. Okay, I think I have to connect to my account. All right, and I'll select my calendar in here and I'll say this. Start and end time of that event is decided by the model. I don't have to care about it because I will say, hey, starting 8 p.m. today for an hour, schedule an event or create an event. That will be my command typically, right? I'll close this off. This is done. Now what should I do? Copy paste, same thing, but change the operation. That's exactly what we've done even in the Gmail node. I'll go to my drawing board. I will say that schedule operation is done. What is second? Reschedule. We'll come back to that shortly. Let's search for availability. Okay. Double click. Let's click on operation here. Check if we have availability. Do we have an availability? I don't think so here. So if we don't have an availability here, go to another hierarchy. Click on this. Click on calendar. And then under a calendar, you will find a resource called operation that is availability. Right? Now, this and this again, once again, save this up, drag and drop. Okay. Again, copy paste. I'm just doing the operation exactly what we have done earlier. Everyone, I'm just trying to save a little bit of time here. What's on my calendar today? Can I say that this is related to reading calendar events? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone, can I say that this is related to reading my calendar events? Yes, lovely. All right. Now I'll double click on this and change the operation to read. But okay, it is on a calendar right now. I will select on an event. I will get many events from my calendar. That is exactly operation that I need to need. Okay. Again, I will make this defined by the model. At what time, after which time, before which time, again, let it define by the model. All I have to do is connect this to this. Fantastic. Now, same thing again. Let's check for, we've done with this. Let's check for reschedule an event, delete an event. Can I also say that this pattern is as same as delete an email and reply to an email? I will only know how to reschedule an event if I know an event ID. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone. I will only know how to delete a calendar event if I know that event ID from. So that means I should read the events first and then delete it. Right? All right. So I'll click on this. Although we have delete an event, it'll ask for an event ID just like the Gmail one. Let me say it will be defined because we will take care of this in the instructions. Drag and drop. Same thing for rescheduling. Delete. What else? Update an event, that is reschedule. Again, it will ask for event ID, which is automatically defined by the model. Now save this up, connect this to this. Let me broom this up so you can see a very tidied multi-agent system, right? Now, what is what that thing that I need to change here? That is the system message of the calendar, right? I will click on this. I'll just change the names. Calendar agent that handles all things cal. For creating an event, use create event tool. For fetching new events, use the get many events tool. For an availability, use the availability tool. Delete or reschedule. First read the events using get many events tool and fetch the event ID for the events in focus. Then perform necessary operation, delete or reschedule. Use the appropriate tool at hand. Makes sense? We have completely modified this system prompt that is respective for the calendar agent. Yes, no, maybe. All right. Save this up, tidy this up, and we are done with email and calendar agent configurations, right? Let's test calendar once. Shall we do it? Everyone, let's test calendar once. Hello? No answers. What happened? Hello, everyone. All right. Okay. I'm going to restart my conversation. I'm going to say create an event for tomorrow at 8 p.m. Uh, yeah, for an 8 p.m. Create an R event for tomorrow at 8 p.m. saying N8N class. A simple test event. Let me click on this. Problem. Okay, the model supported in 2.2 version of agent node. Please upgrade the agent node to the latest version. What happened here, boss? All right, let's change the model now. Let's probably change the model to Gemini. Let's see. Gemini. Okay. Save. Tidy this once again. Create an R event at 8 p.m. for tomorrow at titled N8N class. All right, let's see. Service is requesting too many requests from you. How come? I'm only talking to you right now, buddy. Let's do it once again. Resend it. All right, it is running it. Okay, it did not execute anything for some weird reason. I can create an event for you lasting 1 hour. However, I'm unable to add a title to the event. Would you like me to proceed? Okay. The problem here is if you look into the create an event, the problem here is if you look into the create an event, did we anywhere add the event or the title, or did we anywhere configure that? Yes, no, maybe. Did we anywhere configure the title of the event? No, right? You should have to add a field that says, I think it's summary is one and description is one. So let's add these two automatically defined by the model. Save this up and restart the session. Let's see. All right, it's same thing. But first, I need to know the current date. Can you see this answer, everyone? I can help you create a calendar event for N8N class for tomorrow at 8 p.m. But first, I need to know the current date. Could you tell me the what today is? So that is the disadvantage of a calendar agent, that it does not have a context of what is the current date. Okay. So it is our responsibility to add a date and time tool. So what will I do? I will click on date and time tool. I will click on tool and search for date and time tool. Click on that. Automatically, it will give you a current date field. I don't have to change any aspect of this. I don't have to change any aspect of this. I will keep it as is. But I will have to instruct my calendar agent to use this tool for everything. Use date and time tool to fetch the current date and then proceed as below. Proceed as follows. It is very important point, everyone. Please note that in the context of N8N, it is very important for the LLMs also to give an access to a current date. Okay, let's restart this or retest this once again. This should be done this time around. Now, can you see it fetched the current date? It has created an event in my calendar. Makes sense, everyone? Are we good until this point? Right? Lovely. Absolutely. Now, let's take a quick 5-minute break before we move into the meeting agent, because meeting agent need a little bit of more focus, right? So take a 5-minute water break or a bio break, and then I will meet you shortly. All right. If you closely watch this entire problem yet, okay, did I ever give a system prompt to master agent? Did I ever give a system message to master agent? Then how did this work? Then how did this work? That is because master agent knows that it, by definition, it is probably reading the name, email agent tool and calendar agent tool. It's able to figure out that if I say event, it is related to a calendar, right? But that's not always the case. So you have to explicitly define master agent to what to do with a system message. That is really, really important. Okay. I'm going to say you are a master agent that handles, that orchestrates different agents as follows. If the user asks for email related actions, email related actions, use the email agent tool. I'm going to copy this. Second point, if the user asks for calendar related actions, use the calendar related tools, agent tool. Third, again, if the user asks for meeting related actions, use the meeting agent tool. But the fourth point is if the user asks for combination or a compound related actions, use the appropriate tools, use the tools in the order of inquiry and get the job done. All right, clear, straightforward. I've also handled for the edge case of compound or combination statements. Yes, everyone, we good so far? All right. Now, time for laser sharp focus. It's really important for you to understand this concept. Okay. This will unlock the world of possibilities to you inside N8N. So please pay attention for the next 10-15 minutes. Okay. Now let's move on. For the meeting assistant, if you look into this, minutes of the meeting, action items, meeting transcript, all of this, can I say that if I get access to the transcript of that meeting, if I get access to the transcript of the meeting, I can perform all these actions. Yes, no, maybe. If I get access to the transcript of that meeting, I can answer all of these queries. Yes, 100%. Fantastic. So the tool in focus that I'm going to use is Fireflies. And the process will be pretty much same for across different tools, even if you want to use Fireflies AI. Okay. I want to use this tool where the Jerry or the agent will go inside my Fireflies account, right? Fetch the meetings, fetch the transcripts, and then get the job done, right? For me to do that, let's go and search for a tool called Fireflies. Can you all see that I don't have a tool called Fireflies available to me directly? Yes, no, maybe. I've searched for a tool called Fireflies. It is not available. It's not yet supported by N8N. What am I supposed to do right now? The other way around is you can do an API call. You can do an API call to Fireflies AI and get the transcripts. Okay. But I don't know how to talk to Fireflies AI. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. I don't know how to talk to Fireflies AI. How am I supposed to talk to Fireflies AI? So any company that is letting you talk to that particular app will have something called as a documentation. I think it will be part of the resources. Where is it? All right, let's search for Fireflies AI documentation on it directly. Okay, I will go to Fireflies API. All right, I will click on learn more once again. Now, if you see, this is the quick start. This is the quick start guide. Every API documentation will have this. Every single API guide will documentation will have this. First, it will say, Akhil, for you to start working with our APIs, for you to start interacting with our app, first thing you need to have something called as Fireflies API key. That is the step one. Okay. I will click on this. I will click on this. Okay. I think I have to log in. Give me a second. It's taking a while to log in. Give me a moment here, folks. All right. I've logged in successfully and I'll click on get API key. Now this is my API key. API key is a secret that you'll not share it with anyone. Okay. I'll copy this and I'll keep it handy here. This is my API key. I've keep it handy here. All right. Now, step one is done as per the guide. Step two is Akhil. This is a request that you can use to retrieve a list of users. I don't want this. But what is our focus, everyone? My focus is to get a transcript, correct? My focus is get a transcript. All right. Now, let's go back and search for if I can get a transcript. Okay. Here you can also have ask a question. It says that, let me try. I need to fetch transcript of a meeting. Okay, let's see. There's an AI here, so it should do the job. So it says that Akhil found a result. To fetch a transcript of a meeting, use the transcript query with the meeting transcript ID. Here's an example, right? It says that you need to provide your API key and the transcript ID in the variables. Do I have a transcript ID, everyone? Do I have any transcript ID at my hand? No. Correct? Okay, I'm gonna say, all right. So I don't have a transcript ID. How will I get it? Okay, clear? How will I get it? You can get transcript IDs by using the transcripts query to list all your meetings. Here's an example. Is this clear, everyone? So it is saying that Akhil, first I've asked I need to fetch transcript of a meeting. It says Akhil, you need to use this query. So far, so good. I was like, okay, but I don't have a transcript ID. How will I get it? Because that's what it says. I need to provide transcript ID also. I said, okay, fine. It has figured out, read entire the documentation and said, Akhil, you can get transcript ID by using this transcripts query to list all your meetings. Here's an example, right? Like the current webinar ID. Absolutely. Now, all right. Now I will say, give me CURL commands. Watch this carefully. You can do this with ChatGPT also. Since they have the agent or assistant right in their documentation, it makes their life very easy. Okay. Give me CURL commands for transcript and transcripts query. So I can fetch a transcript of a meeting as per my requirement. Okay. There's a reason why I asked for a curl commands. Just wait and watch. All right. It is giving me this list of transcripts. To get transcript ID. Get single transcript with full details. Replace your API key with your actual API key and your transcript ID with the ID obtained from the first query. Okay. Everyone, makes sense so far? Did you understand what did I do in this conversation? Did you understand what did I do in this conversation? First, my requirement was I need to get a transcript. So I went into the documentation and I said, boss, I need to fetch the transcript of a meeting. How am I supposed to do it? Okay. It says, Akhil, this is how you're going to use it. But you need a transcript ID also. Then I realized I don't have a transcript ID at my hand. Correct? I don't have a transcript ID. So what Fireflies is saying that, Akhil, I will give you this. I will give you this, but only if you provide me transcript ID. I will give you the transcript if I give you transcript ID. But do I have transcript ID at my disposal? No. For me to get a transcript ID, there's another query that I need to perform called transcripts. which is responsible to get list of items or transcripts from my account with ID, title, and other details. Make sense? Once I get the list of ID and other details from this, I can always extract this ID and insert that ID into the transcript query. Make sense now? Clear? Everyone? Yes? Fantastic. Perfect. Now, let's move on into this. I said, okay, I don't have a transcript ID. How will I get it? It said, Akhil, you can do that with transcripts query. Then I was like, okay, you said I need to use these two queries. I asked for CURL commands for the transcript and transcript query. So I can fetch a transcript of my meeting. So what you have to do, step one, copy this first command, whatever it gave here. Okay. Copy this first command. Now let's go to N8N, go to the meetings agent, click on the tool. And here you will see something called as HTTP request tool. This is the tool that will let you make an API call to any other app. Okay, it could be Fireflies, it could be Read AI, it could be Transic AI, doesn't matter. Now, the best part about this N8N is, or at least this tool is, you can see something called as import CURL, correct? This is a type of format, this is a protocol that makes your life easy to just configure everything. You don't have to manually type anything here. If I click on this and paste everything that I've copied, if I click on this and paste everything that I've copied from the Fireflies documentation and click on import, wait and watch. Can you all see automatically all these things are taken care of? All these things are taken care of. Everyone? I don't have to lift a finger. Yes, no, maybe, hello. So that is the power of CURL, right? All you have to do is whenever you're using an API request, always request. You can always ask ChatGPT also or Perplexity also saying, hey, I want to use Fireflies API. Just give me a CURL command. That is all it is. That's all. You don't have to understand what this language is all about right now. Okay, awesome. Now here, the only thing you need to change is your API key. Did I get my API key earlier? Yes. So I'll just copy paste my API key in this particular aspect. All right. Now we'll rename this to list of transcripts. Okay. That's what exactly that Fireflies document also says, list of transcripts. Now I'll go to the second one and I'll copy this and I'll copy this. Now I'll go again, add another tool, same HTTP tool, import CURL as usual, whatever we did. We'll copy the exact same thing as is here, import. And again, I will replace my API key. Where is my API key? Here it is. Right key and paste it here. Okay. API key is here. That is clear. Fantastic. Now, if you watch carefully, okay, this is get the transcript. Okay, get the transcript. Now, if you see carefully, the line number 4 here, it says, I need to paste my transcript ID here, correct? Yeah, bearer in front of API key is a requirement, correct? Can I say that I should dynamically update my transcript ID here every single time? Yes, no, maybe. For every request that I'm going to ask assistant, it should dynamically modify this line, right? So can I say that I should dynamically construct this body with assistant every single time if it's related to meetings? Can I say that? Yes, no, maybe. Hello. I should dynamically construct the entire body because I have to replace this line. Because I might be asking for one transcript today or another transcript the next time. So the transcript ID will change. I cannot keep it static here. I cannot hard code the value. The agent should dynamically decide. So for me to construct this body dynamically, I should take this entirely and ask the agent to dynamically construct it in the system prompt. Make sense? Everyone, all I will do here is I will click on the sparkle icon and I will say that this is automatically defined by the model or the agent. All right, everyone, until this point, perfect. Now, let's move on. I will go to meetings agent. I will delete all of this. I'll first paste whatever I have copied. I'll come back to that just now. You are a meeting agent. You are a meeting agent that handles all things meetings. If for any query related to meetings, always follow the below steps. Step 1, fetch the list of transcripts. Fetch the transcript ID, or I can say that fetch the transcript ID of the meeting in focus using the list of transcripts tool. Correct? What will be the output of list of transcript? Everyone, it'll give you my transcript ID, the title of that meeting, whatever that is. I will fetch the transcript ID or extract the transcript ID of the meeting in focus using the list of transcripts tool, or I can also say API call. Let me put it tool. Second, once you fetch the transcript ID, dynamically construct the following body for the get transcript tool as follows. So I've given the context here. I'll probably put in a double quotes or something. So it knows that it has to construct this entire format in the body. All right. I'm saying that once you fetch the transcript ID from the first API call, dynamically construct the following body, this particular section of the second API call in the get transcript tool. That is all it is. Once you get the transcript, modify the output as per the user requirement. If the user says minutes of the meeting, it will give you the minutes of the meeting. If user says action items, it will give you the action items. Is this system prompt clear, everyone? Hello, everyone. Is this system prompt clear? All right, fantastic. Now, let's move on. Save this up, tidy this up. Now I'm going to ask question related to my meetings. I'm going to clear everything. Let's go and see what are meetings available in my AI, Fireflies AI. I'm not even sure about it. Open app. What was my latest meeting? Yeah, so there's a latest meeting called AIGF 5, whatever that is. Okay, let's ask for the latest meeting summary. All right. Now let's go back to my N8N. I'll ask, give me the summary of my latest meeting. All right. How does the agent make the HTTP request? We are not entering API key in system prompt. API key is already handled in this particular part, right? Here in the API call itself. Yeah. Let's see what happens now. I've given the prompt. Okay, again the problem. I think it's the model here. Let's change the model. Let's change for Gemini. I'll change it to fourth account and save it. I will redo this. Perfecto. It's again trying to get the list of transcript. Fantastic. Okay, let's see what's happening here. It got the transcript apparently. So this is the entire transcript it got, and it's trying to summarize. Let's see the output. The latest meeting AIGS C4 office sessions, blah 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 blah. Can you all see this, everyone? Can you all see this? Of course, I'm not printing it anywhere. That's the reason why it is not able to show me. But can you all see that it is able to summarize and give me the entire output? And it is going to fetch everything from me as per my request. Is this powerful? Is this powerful? Indeed. So what did we do? In entirety, we did build a multi-agent system that is orchestrated by a master agent, which can maintain context across email, calendar, and meetings and give you a very reliable output as per your requests. Should you also attach date and time to the meetings? No, no, no. Right? You have publicly shown the API of your Fireflies. Don't you see its risk can be misused by someone? I can always change it here. I can always reset it. Right after this call, I will reset it anyway. Right? So that's a good question. But yeah, you should never share your API keys to anyone. Make sense? Can you add the meeting summary, send it to? Yeah, yeah. You can always add apps like Slack. You can also email the summary. Like you can do many things as part of the tool. Right? Perfect. Everyone who is recording the transcript is recorded by the Fireflies AI assistant only. I don't have to work like or develop an app like that. Okay. All right. And that's where the magic show stops for today. And that's where we conclude the magic show for today. Right? I'm going to give you the JSON. I think just give you a minute. Bhardwaj, I think let's know. I will not give you a JSON here because I want you to practice this if you are choosing this. If I give it as is, you'll not practice. So yeah.
Okay. Akhil, since we have time left, can we like do the Telegram integration as well?
All right. Cool. Let's do it. Okay. Let's make this app even more interesting, folks. Let's make this app interesting. Ideally, ideally, when I'm talking to this bot or Jerry, ideally, when I'm talking to this bot or Jerry, right? In this case, where we have on-chat messages inside the canvas, that means that every single time if I want to talk to Jerry, I will have to come into this canvas and talk, right? Correct? Everyone? Yes, no, maybe. But what if, but what if I talk to this app from an external or talk to this Jerry from an external app like Telegram, right? Let's explore the possibility of how do we talk to Jerry from a Telegram. Let's do that, everyone. Are you excited for that? Yes. Wonderful. Let's do it. Let me just deactivate this node for a moment. I'll try to add a Telegram trigger. I'll search for Telegram. Inside Telegram, I'll scroll down for the trigger section. And now here, I will have to trigger this particular agent. I'll have to trigger this particular agent. Okay. With a message in a Telegram, correct? On a message in a Telegram. Yes, no, maybe. Hello? Yes, no, maybe. Perfect. 1 second. I think I'll have to open the Telegram. Okay, cool. Let me go back to my 1 second. It's taking a while for the Telegram app to load. All right, I think it's working now. Now, whenever I send a message inside a Telegram, it should trigger this particular workflow that is the focus. Okay, let's just put this here and connect this to my master agent, because master agent is the entry point for my entire Jerry, right? This is deactivated, so it will not work even if I run. So now inside Telegram trigger, how to connect my Telegram bot or Telegram app to this particular trigger. So click on this drop down, right? You have a lot of this, but let's create a new credential all of a sudden. Yes, you can see my screen, right, everyone? I'm talking in N8N only. Yes? All right, cool. So here, how do I set up this Telegram account? The best part about N8N is whenever you're setting up any new trigger or any new app, it will give you this N8N AI for setup instructions. You can always click on this, right? It'll think about to get all the latest documentation and latest setup integrations for Telegram, and it'll give you step by step. Let's follow as is. Let's not change anything. Okay. Let's get this in here. I think 1 second then in that case. You should be able to see Telegram on the left hand side. Yes, everyone? Yes. Can you see the Telegram as well? All right, perfect. Now, let's see the thing in action. First, make sure your Telegram account, of course, supported authentication method. Okay. Now, how to generate API bot access token. First, start a chat with bot father on Telegram. So inside Telegram, I will open this bot father. I will search for bot father and I will start a chat with the bot father. Okay. It says that enter slash new bot command to create a new bot. Okay, I will do that. Slash new bot. Enter. Now it is saying, Akhil, all right, choose a new bot. How are you going to call it? I will choose a name, Jerry. Now it is saying, good. Now let's choose a username for your bot. It must end in whatever that bot is. Like this, for example, Tetris bot or Tetris hyphen bot. I'm going to say Jerry bot. This username is already taken. Okay. Jerry bot. You know, let me try once again. Bot one, I don't know. Jerry one bot. You'll have to play with this because there might be a lot of folks creating the similar names. Jerry Akhil bot. Let's see. Fantastic. Okay, the bot is ready. Okay, I'm gonna say now here. Copy the token for the bot father generates for your bot. This is your API bot access token. All right. So where is my token here? Use this token to access HTTP API. That's exactly my token is. Copy this line entirely, whatever the token is, and paste it inside this section for Telegram. Paste it and save this account. Okay. It's testing it. It'll take a while and it'll say that, okay, connection tested successfully. I'm going to say Jerry new bot. All right. I'm going to name it myself. So I know exactly I have created. All right. Clear, everyone? Is this clear? I've exactly followed the instructions that I was given on the right hand side. I've created a new bot, named it, created a new username, and then I've got an access token. I've copy pasted the exact access token here. That means my connection is successful. I've saved it. I will select Jerry new bot. Where is it? Yeah, Telegram account. I think, okay, cool. Let me close this up. Okay, now my Telegram trigger is configured to listen everything from Telegram app. Okay, but let's see if this is passing that to master agent, if master agent is able to receive the information correctly. Let's see that. Okay, let me double click on this. And can you see this, everyone? Master agent still thinks that it is connected to a chat trigger node, correct? But is it connected to a chat trigger node? Everyone, is this connected to a chat trigger node? No, right? So I'll have to modify this. Let's modify, but before we modify, let's execute this and see what happens. Let's execute the workflow. When I execute the workflow, it is waiting for a trigger event. Where will this trigger event come from? Telegram. Okay. Now, already I have created, the bot is created at this link, t.me Jerry Akhil bot. I will directly click on this and we'll start the conversation with my bot that I've created just now. Start the conversation. Can you see automatically the moment I enter start of the button, there's a message already flown, which was by default. And this particular circle or this particular node got this message. Let me show that message to you. Alrighty. Can you see there's a text called start? Can I say that? I just have to feed this to as a prompt to my master agent, everyone. I just have to feed this field as a prompt to my master agent. Yes, no, maybe. Hello? Because this is the message I'm sending in, and Telegram trigger captured that message from my Telegram app externally. Don't you think this is the prompt for my master agent? All I have to do is click on master agent. It still thinks it's connected to chat trigger node. So I will have to click on the drop down and define below. Define explicitly below on where is the prompt coming from. The prompt is coming from a text field here. That is the start, whatever you see here. Drag and drop the text field here. Make sense? Everyone? Yes. Now, save this up. Okay. Let me execute this once again. Let me re-execute the workflow. I'm going to say hello. Okay. Enter. Memory issue. What is the memory issue? Right. Now watch carefully. Even for memory, there's an error. Right? Why? Because even memory thinks that it's connected to a chat trigger node. Is that true? Everyone? Is that true or false? No. So I'll have to click on again define below, right? Let's see the action nodes, the simple memory. Okay. Now here, if you see carefully, we have a message ID. That means what is that like? This is the second message. So message ID is 2. This is the first message. So it'll have a 1. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, can I say that the chat ID of this conversation will never change? Yes, no, maybe. Hello? The chat ID of this bot will never change because it's a unique bot and the ID is already pre-created by bot father. All I have to do is drag and drop this ID here. Drag and drop this ID here. Okay, see this up. Now, since the memory is something that I need to handle, right? I'll also delete this and I'll make it Google for now. Okay. Now, since I've changed the memory already, I've configured the memory. It is working in green. I'll have to change the memory across the different nodes, right? Because that is the same memory. I just have to make this 5 for once and then copy the same memory across different nodes because memory is something that will come from the conversation inside the app. Okay. Again, I will do that here. Delete this. Again, drag and drop. Save this up. Tidy this up. And this is how it looks so far. Okay. The chat message is deactivated. Even if it is present, it will not work. Now let's go and ask for a command. That is, um, get me the latest meeting summary. Okay, enter. Okay, it's not working. Why? Because we did not execute the workflow. Let's execute the workflow and send the same message. Yes, it has picked the message. Meetings agent node. Again, we have a problem. What is the problem? Received tool input did not expect the match to value. What is the problem, boss? Okay, let's do it once again. Get me the latest meeting summary. Enter. Execute. Should go to meetings. Some problem in again this part. Why? Why? Everything is correct. Nothing has changed. Sometimes you have to debug this. It's a art of part and parcel of the testing. Whoa. Why? The service is receiving too many requests. Okay, I'll change this. I don't know why it is receiving too many requests. All right, we've got it here. It is trying to fetch the transcripts. List of transcript must have gotten here. Getting the transcript right now in just a minute. Yeah, probably the Gemini credits are finished. Again, problem. All right, TY. List of transcript is got anyway. I'm seeing the list of transcript. It has got it. The title, ID, everything is clear. Let's try with calendar. If that is the problem, let's see with some other account. Let's try with calendar. Um, what's on? Create a new event in my calendar for tomorrow. Calendar for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's see. Execute the workflow. Okay, it's going to the calendar. It will fetch the date and time. Workflow executed successfully, but it did not create anything. Very strange. I can help with that, but what is the event about and how long the event will be? Okay, I'm going to give the entire details to that. Titled N8N class, and it's for an hour. Fantastic. I'll give it. Do we have to execute the workflow manually? No, I'm going to show you. This is again in testing only. Once we do everything in testing, we'll just have to publish this workflow. And when we publish this workflow, it will work no matter what. You don't have to click executed successfully and all. All right. So it says created an event, which is working well. Start time, end time, that is tomorrow. That is fantastic. All right. But can you see the problem here? Although it is trying to execute everything here, I'm not getting any update in Telegram back. Correct? Yes, I'm not getting any update in Telegram back. Like, how am I supposed to solve for that problem? So, what will I do? I will click on a tool under calendar agent. I will say Telegram, right? I will set an operation send message chat ID. Do I have a chat ID, everyone? Yes, I will drag and drop the chat ID from the conversation we had just now. What is the text it needs to send back? Let the model decide. Now, I'm going to instruct calendar agent in its system prompt that for every action or progress you make, for every action or progress you make, send the updates back to the user via send a message in Telegram tool. Make sense? I have to, although I've given a tool, it is very important for me to instruct my agent on how to use that tool. Clear, everyone? So far, so good until this point? Yes, hello. We have good number of folks on the call, more yeses. If you've understood, awesome, great. Now, let's save this up, broom this up. We've got a Telegram here. You can always do the same thing for other agents. Let's just get to the calendar agent so you get the gist of how it works. I will do the exact same operation, but for 4 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, let's click on that and hit enter. Now I'll click on execute workflow. Now let's wait and watch what it happens. It got the date and time. It created an event. It should send me an update back in Telegram. Can you see? I have created an event titled this in your calendar for tomorrow, January 12th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Is that a good response back to me? Everyone? Yes. If I just add these Telegram notes for these bots, for these other agents, not the bots, you'll get the reply back in your Telegram. You don't have to leave your Telegram interface. Correct? Fantastic. Right? So that's the end of how do we connect Telegram to our agents and how do we make them talk to each other. Right? And that closes the discussion for today. Bhardwaj, are you around?
Yes, Akhil. Did you all love the automation? It's tough, yes, but wonderful, lovely, lovely, lovely. Akhil, I've sent you a message. Just check. Great. So we'll give you the blueprint of how to build this Jerry step by step, right? Yes, yes, please, please, resources. It will reach you by email as well, right? So that's my word. All of it will be compiled and it will be sent to your email. But do not drop. We have something very interesting coming up as well. Let's do Q&A for now. Do not drop. After the Q&A, like in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we have something very, very exciting. Let's say if you are skilled enough to build these AI agents, do you want to make some side money? Like, do you think, do you actually, let me put it this way. Do you know that you can sell these AI agents? How many of you know this? Okay. You met Jitesh yesterday, right? Jitesh sells these agents. That's exactly what Jitesh does. That's exactly what Akhil does. And you will meet a mentor now who will connect the dots for you, who will tell you what you need to do, a roadmap. How many of you also want a roadmap on how you can get better at building agents and automations? How many of you want to do this? Yes, this is perfect for small business and medium businesses. Okay. So do not drop off because now we will do Q&A for like 10-15 minutes. And then I have very, very interesting mentor who's coming in, who'll give you a roadmap, right? Who'll give you a roadmap for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. And we'll talk about something exciting as well at the end of the roadmap. So the roadmap is how do you navigate this AI world? What all things you have to learn? How you can learn? What are the resources to learn? All of this will be told to you. So do not drop off at all. Today, your lunch will be delayed a little bit, but I will make sure I give you enough break because I know it's a Sunday and all of you must be cooking really good food at home. But okay, someone's asking about my watch. My God. Okay, I'm too distracted with the chat now. Right. So, this mentor who will be coming in, he runs his own AI agency. Uh, who sells these AI agents made good amount of revenue in the last few years in the AI space. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he does a lot of he consults a lot of companies in building these AI agents and giving it to people, right? So that is what we will be discussing on how you can do this for yourself, right? So that is the next session all about. It's called connecting the dots, right? So yesterday I told about a program also, but the first 1 hour will be purely teaching about how the roadmap is, and the last 15 to 20 minutes I'll talk about the program. So hang in there, please be there. Please respect this. I mean, I request you all to consider that we did this entirely without a cost at all. So we are trying as much as we can to upskill everybody, because Outskill's vision is to reach to 100 million learners, and we should be able to teach 100 million learners. That's our vision at Outskill, and looking forward to interact with you all in the next session as well. So let's get started with Q&A. So do not hop off. Stay tuned. There is something really, really good coming your way. Let's get started, Akhil. Let's do the Q&A.
Yes, 1 second. Yeah, I've sent you all the link for Q&A in the chat, as well as I'm gonna share my screen in just a bit. Where is it? All right. Here you go. Right. Now, in the interest of time, I will only take questions, maybe 50,
Akhil,
60
we have
questions.
time till 12:30.
Right.
So mentor is ready now. He'll be in by 12:30.
All right. We'll take limited questions and then we can move to the next set. Perfecto. I'll close the Q&A in the next 1 minute, folks. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the Q&A. Yes, I'll take the questions that are here. All right. How to address clients' privacy concerns since automation gains access to all their email and chats. So when you're sharing the client, when you're sharing this workflow in the JSON format, all these credentials, such as your like, even in here, you just have to remove your API keys because this is hard coded. This is not defined automatically, right? API keys and just give everything as is. If there are any API keys anywhere written like hard coded, or even in this simple memory, if you have hard coded anything, like if it's dynamically done, you don't have to worry. If you've hard coded anything, you'll have to remove all of them. But when it comes to Google, Gmail, or any other login, N8N will ensure that it will prune or remove all of these credentials whenever we share it with the client. So you don't have to worry about that. Please show the meeting agent prompt part. Okay, here's the meeting agent prompt part. Here is the first part where you'll extract the transcript ID of the meeting in the first step. Second, you will construct the body of the second API call and just move along. Don't worry, you'll get all of this when you're doing in the breakout rooms. Why don't we need a Pinecore memory for the master agent or tools? Like we will need only Pinecore memory when you want to fetch an information, something related to RAG. If you've heard it in the earlier session, that if you need to fetch additional context to give a better output, then we need to have Pinecone memory or vector databases and all that. Can you use WhatsApp as a trigger? Yes, yes. But the process is you'll have to get your WhatsApp business account sorted, Meta verified, and then partner with local WhatsApp partners depending on the country you're living in. Once you get the API keys from there or access tokens from there, you can connect the WhatsApp. It's about a week process usually for getting this verification as a business. Want to learn how to host clients N8N on his own server? Find like search for tutorials on self-hosting N8N on YouTube. You'll find good amount of things. Can you send Jason in the chat box? I will not send Jason because this is one of the activities. Like, let's say if you choose to do Jerry in the breakout rooms after the lunch, I mean, post lunch, then this will not give you a fair chance to at least learn. What is the most interesting automation you would add to Jerry, even if it is too advanced or to cover here today? Probably I'll do some kind of a financial insights, maybe some kind of a research assistant that will go and research for a topic for me, etc., etc. Why can't we implement agent level request processing in the master memory for the master agent? Why do we create memory for each agent separately? Again, we can make some more optimizations on top of this. But I think until here, if you've learned, like you'll eventually understand the optimizations that you can do in the next steps. The date and time tool, which clock it will take, IST and GMT. I mean, depending on the N8N instance that you are in, you can change the configuration here. So here, inside your workflow, click on this. I think under settings, you can change the time zone of your workflow, right? When you change it, automatically it will run as per your time zone under the settings of your workflow. You have to execute the workflow manually each time. Can you make it automatic? All you have to do is click on publish. When you click on publish, it will be published and you don't have to execute the workflow manually all the time. It will be executed by default behind the scenes. All right. Can we get Excalibur? I've not written anything on the Excalibur today. I just written this particular actions. Like you could have done the exact same thing for yourself. So nothing major here for today. You had to execute the workflow manually. I think this is done. Is N8N only tool to do the automation? No, there are so many, but N8N is the best so far. How Zomato orders are placed? That's a programmatic approach. It's not an automation. Yes, we can do this. Notion plus N8N. Please take few examples. That is out of scope for our discussion. Is Microsoft a competitor of N8N as Copilot also? No, no, no. Copilot will only do things inside Microsoft Suite, and it is only limited to do few things, unlike N8N, which can talk to external apps and get the job done. Like you connected API, can I connect to my Docker-based databases? Yeah, absolutely. What if we add Telegram node to our master agent instead of sub-agents? That's exactly what we did. We've exactly done Telegram node to a master agent, not sub-agents. Oh, if you mean to say this one, you can do this, but like if you look into the context of it, right? If calendar agent is performing something, calendar agent has a much more nuance or understanding of what it is doing or what it has done. So it can give you an update here. Master agent is just performing an operation of just redirecting or moving the commands between these agents. So you'll not get any benefit output if you put a Telegram node here. How much should we charge for this N8 and Jerry? Depends on the use case, depends on the client you're talking. Free alternatives of Firefly's AI. I think Firefly's AI also has a free account, but I think Read AI, Transic AI, you can explore these options. Why Master Agent was used instead of LLM as a text classifier? Because we want to deal with this compound arguments also, right? So when we use a text classifier, it will only bucket the commands based on an input. So whether it's related, whether it's related to email or calendar. But if there's a command that combines both email and calendar, then the text classifier approach will break. So that is the reason why we had to use master agent. Need JSON? No, no, I will not be able to provide right now. Is WhatsApp API free like Telegram? No, it comes with a cost. Ideally, how much would the entire workflow cost that you just made? It depends again on the use case on what is the frequency of the things that you use, what kind of models you use, where are you going to deploy. So there are a lot of moving pieces here. Nope. How do we troubleshoot if the workflow isn't working? One of the things is if you're on a plan or in a trial, you can always ask for N8N AI here and say that, hey, how can I make this better? Like simple, how can I debug this? You can ask for N8N AI. It does a really good job. Really good job. Instead of creating a node for date and time, how could we take date and time from variables? Yeah, we can do that. Slack and N8N, not possible. Oh, Slack and N8N, you can always connect, just like the Telegram. You can connect a Slack tool here and ask it to reply in that Slack tool. That is all it is. You just have to give a channel to which it should reply to. How much time it gets us as a beginner to learn automation to provide our consultancy business? Like you'll have to start practicing. You'll have to go through the templates that are part of the N8N, the one that I've shared yesterday. Like as and when you get it, like maybe when you solve the problems for your own self, when you refer at least 50, 60 use cases that are already out there, you'll be in a very good shape to at least start or taking some freelance clients. Connect. Can I connect all the AI agents with a single LLM model like only Gemini? Why is the question. Connect to Messenger as well. I think so. Just check. Yeah, that's what I've spoken about. Using bigger AI and more agents won't affect that pricing. It will. It will. So you'll have to carefully pick what models to use at every agent depending on the context you're dealing with. Spoken about this. How to publish? I've shown it. Why AI makes money? What is that question? I didn't understand. HR agent, you can do that. Can you add the event at the same time as before? Bot should not book it and should say you are busy. Then you should have to change the instruction saying that before you create an event, first use the availability tool to check if you are available at that right time. If not, inform the user that he or she is not available. You can always do that. How to create the bot from the workflow? That's what, okay, Telegram bot. Just click a Telegram trigger. Here, when you click on Telegram trigger, you will see under create new credentials, you'll see N8N AI set up for instructions. Okay. All right. How is the performance from N8N agents compared to agents built using LangChain framework? It varies from different, like we are talking about apples and oranges, like it's not technically a comparison, right? How to validate my agent? What kind of validation? How is DFT? What is DFT? All right, I think I've taken good enough questions. It might give you a very good understanding of the workflow, and there were fundamental questions, common patterns across. So, yeah, all right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Channel basically started off from there. I took a break in between, and 2023 or 2024, actually, when I decided that I'll just quit my job. I have the full-time job that I had, and I'll just go deep down this rabbit hole of AI. So 2024 April, I decided that I'll just leave everything. I am going to devote myself to AI and see like what all is possible. 2025 January, let me share my screen and I'll show you exactly the point. I started everything. Like the first client that I got, how did I get it? What was the exact tweet that I did? Okay, I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Let me quickly open up the chat. Uh, all right, great. So this is the one. Let me just show you. So this is my profile. I think this is the one. So this tweet, which is pinned on my profile currently, this exact tweet, I just took a bet that in February 2025, you can see this was posted on Feb 2. And I was like, okay, I'll do 28 days of automation straight. Because I spent a lot of time already with all of these automation tools like N8N, and there's one that I use, which is Gumloop. And I started off on Feb 1, 4th Feb, I had the first deal. Okay. And then I could realize that obviously it's because the arbitrage is so high that businesses actually don't know, how to leverage this entire field. how to leverage and deploy these solutions into different business functions. And that's I continue to do for for the rest of the year. So from February to December 2025, we had grown to like multiple clients, consulting clients. I've done like all sorts of things at this point. I can show you one of the biggest projects that we delivered was this ads dashboard. Okay, and this is what is coming ahead. I'll give you like step by step the complete roadmap that Bhardwaj talked about. I've seen like multiple, like all of the phases that you all must be wondering what all is possible. So I started off as a freelancer, then I got into consulting, then we became an agency owner. So my agency is called Agent Device, and this is registered, in Dubai, the business entity. And from here, now, because I was working with so many clients, so many people, I started working on a product alongside my existing clients. So I already had these clients, I already had the customers for the product that I wanted to build. So I've seen this entire journey of freelancing, consulting, agency owner, providing services. We're still in the services business. We are a team of like engineers, and we also provide basically, we've now started to work on this product. And this same journey, I was like, Vaibhav is a good friend, Bhardwaj is a good friend. We have done so many sessions together. And I was just discussing that this entire journey can actually be turned into a program now. Because I've spent so much time with these clients, I figured I failed so many times. And that's how this program actually came into picture. And then, let me just quickly show you what all you have done so far and what's next. And how do you go about tackling this entire problem of I saw one of you asked question how AI makes money. I think this entire roadmap will help you get that answer. Let's look at it. So let's try to connect the dots between what you have done in the last 2 days and what is coming ahead. Okay. So here's what. So people don't understand about the journey in general. Okay, you learn about it. People see AI currently as a black box, that there are like automations. They're seeing everything on YouTube. They're seeing it on viral reels. So, but they don't really understand like what is actually happening, how easy or difficult it is for someone to actually build solutions and sell them, right? So now that you have spent last 2 days working on this, I think all of you now have a better view of looking at the same pyramid, this mountain. Okay. Other people who do not have like a very superficial understanding of AI, they would see like prompting, Chat GPT, Gemini, Claude, and now Claude Code is coming up. There is the CLI terminal, Cursor, these types of like tools that they keep hearing about. How do you use them? Is this like they don't even know whether Cursor is a code editor, an IDE, or what exactly is it? They're like, Cursor is basically something that just automates software. That's the understanding that they have. Now, being here for last 2 days, this is your view of the entire, like how you should see this entire mountain. Starting off from like prompting techniques to understanding AI, building those RAG-based solutions, Jerry that you have created. And then you go into like advanced, there are some advanced AI solutions. How would you scale those solutions? Solving real world problems, how these AI agents that you have just learned to build, how can those be replicated into people's business functions? That was one problem that I personally, learned by doing it the hard way. That I talked to a lot of people, like a lot of businesses in India, in US, in Europe. Most of our clients are based out of US and Europe, and some are in Southeast Asia. So a lot of them basically, laid out, this is our entire marketing flow. This is our entire sales flow. These are the kind of challenges that we face when we run our Airbnbs. So those are the exact things that we laid out on a piece of paper. Okay, what are the business functions and what are the processes? What are the problems that each of these business function is facing in all of these organizations? And how can we turn this, like what, there's one part which is the business function, and there is another part which is the technical aspect of it. The technical aspect is something that these businesses actually don't understand, and that's where the arbitrage comes from. So you all are here learning about AI. if you understand the business functions, or if somebody helps you, if basically if I was there 6 months ago, if somebody would have come and told me, we'll tell you everything that happens in every single business function, can you like help us with these automations, it would have become so much easier for me to like get into it. You all have an very superficial understanding of AI, but you have become better by building these automations for last 2 days. Think about it. We have been doing this for 2 years now. I've been doing this for last 2 years, building a lot of these AI automations, code base, no code base, everything. And you all have started to look at this pyramid as a way to get to the summit where you can start offering these as solutions to other people. That's the summit. Okay, that's where I also wanted to go. That's why I spent 8 months just learning and figuring out what all is possible, because April 2024 and February 2025, this was my exploration phase. I ideally, it would not have taken me this long to get to this place, but that's where this program actually comes into picture as well. So looking at this pyramid, many of you might think we've spent like 2 days building automations. And I think Akhil also mentioned in the session that you do it for 50, 60 such use cases. And that's when you realize the potential. That's when you get comfortable with building these solutions. That's when you become, you will be able to listen to the client and understand what is going on here. So don't at all think that you have like climbed the mountain already to reach that outcome. There's a lot. The peak of the Everest is still like far ahead. And yes, we need to like hype. We need to build a lot more. We need to spend a lot of time understanding those systems, understanding where the arbitrage is, where the gap is. I'm sure. Like, can you tell me in the chat how many of you are, working professionals? How many of you are actually working for a company at the moment? Okay, I think we have. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I think I have a sense of. I was shared the. Okay, student. Yes. Okay, cool. As I told you last night, something happened that was like that actually blew my mind. That this person was able to sell their own company. That I've built this because they were not in the marketing department; they were data scientists, and they built a solution and sold it to the marketing department and got a salary raise in return. So yeah, the peak of Everest, it's still far away. There's a lot of work that we still need to put in. Currently, where did you start? You started that, okay, you know that AI existed. You couldn't build anything. You automate anything or solve like complex problems. You have no idea how deep this rabbit hole is. So I was this person right here. Well, I knew AI existed because I was a machine learning engineer, and but I didn't know that this LLM world is actually opening up like so many opportunities. There is so much that we can do. I didn't know about all of these tools, and that's when I was like, because I was spending a lot of time with code deep down, and there was like so much value to be generated using these tools. So that's what I realized in 8 months. Okay, because I was on my own figuring everything out. It should not have. And now that when I look back, and I was like, if I would have gotten like something access to resources like these, the one that I'm creating myself now, it would have made it a lot easier, because I was like every single week, every single day, I was just like, where did this? What's the potential here? What do I do? So there were like a lot of questions, and I was like challenging myself a lot during that entire journey. So where you are now, you become these AI agents expert. Don't think that you are an expert at all. I have been building this for like last at least 1.5 years, and there is a lot. I'm still like learning about these tools, because AI is evolving at such a rapid pace that I really find myself behind as well. I have to like, because I have the liberty to now reach out to people within my team, with people like connecting with people like Weber, Vakil, and other mentors in the program. So we have this benefit as a community coming together. I learned from my students as well that, okay, what all is available. How is N8N, what's the new version of N8N allowing us to do? So those types of things. N8N is also like changing every 2 weeks. You'll find something new that opens up opportunities. Now, how you as an AIG basically is seeing this is where we are. Currently, you've reached the base camp. Okay, this is the base camp with 2 days of training that you have done within N8N. Now, there's a lot that you'll have to do to actually be able to turn this into a package solution, something that you can, use within your current job or provide, start off as a freelancer like I did. Then you turn it into like an agency once you have niched down what your offering is. If you, many of you are like going to be like already domain experts, business, you are in marketing, you are in sales, you are in different departments. And I personally, envy a lot of you because I want that expertise. You already know how the domain works, but what you don't know is how AI works. Okay, so that is what we have to like learn by building like multiple solutions and seeing the potential of everything coming together. This is Basecamp is basically you know how to use these tools. You have learned N8N. That's one tool. There are, I think, largely I would say the most important tools that I personally use and the ones that we are using for a lot of our client projects as well. They're largely these 6 to 8 tools in different departments, different business functions that we all have to like get our hands on, spend a lot more like time learning those, and then you can package your solution and become like agency owners. From Basecamp, I want to give you the roadmap to climb this hill right now. The summit that we just talked about, where you actually become an AI generalist, no matter what your goal is, being at your current organization, starting off as a freelancer or an agency owner or anything that you have at hand, or even to become a consultant. Okay, I personally found that I was consulting this US product based company, which are building like a real estate CRM. It's a pretty well known company. And they used to ask me like very difficult questions. And I realized that if I hadn't spent those many hours talking to different customers and building those solutions myself, there's no chance I would have answered those questions or even like, build that trust, that credibility. So consulting again requires a sense of like understanding that what all is possible and what are the different ways of tackling those solutions, from hiring automation experts to actually going and building those yourself. What are the best tools available out there to solve that one specific problem that this company is facing? How would you actually be able to provide value? Those everything we were like able to do only because we spent that time building and building those automations and looking at those different types of solutions. Now coming back to the roadmap, there are two phases to this roadmap. The phase one of the roadmap is leveling up the right deep skills to build and to execute. And the phase two, building AI first distribution to monetize those skills. Now, one very hard challenge the reason, for this division is building is one part. And then, trying to sell it, that was another skill that I had to learn. And obviously, we were like spending so much time building those solutions. We actually didn't understand, okay, how do I go about selling it to like multiple people at scale? And what's the way to get your first customer? How do you scale from zero to $10,000? Now I have all of these playbooks with me that, okay, this is going to be the path for 0 to 10K. These are the steps that I'm going to take. This is how I niche down all of those things. So this phase two is just to like, how would you learn this skill of monetizing what you have learned in phase one? And that's the kind of like mindset that people will have to like develop to actually make the most of the complete mountain. Let's jump into phase one, which is the development phase, where we spend a lot of time just learning the skill. Okay, so how do you set up all of these AI tools? I'm sure like many of you must be facing handling like those issues. I want to run it on N8N locally. I want to run this model locally. I want to do like save cost. There's obviously like trade-off whether you want to save cost or if you're doing it for yourself or if you're doing for your client. What are the steps that you are going to take? How do you set the entire environment on your local? How do you master that entire skill? Visual media and AI creation. I'm sure a lot of you would have seen Webber's videos here. Webber has this Hagen avatar, and then they do a lot of AI generated content. I've had the opportunity to spend time with the video editors in Webber's office, and I see the amount of generation. Everybody, by the way, everybody has access to AI tools. Everyone is using a lot of these AI tools, and they're generating that content. They were sitting working actually. He doesn't have time to record these videos, but he like reviews everything because recording is like a total, time draining machine. You have to spend a lot of time actually to record those videos. And now, given that you're an entrepreneur running this company, it becomes very, very hard. And a lot of our clients, they basically told us that we don't have time to record videos, but it is a requirement now. A lot of our customers are coming from Instagram, coming from YouTube, looking at us on TikTok in US. So you need some sort of mechanism to generate either those visuals, those media AI creation. I personally am building a tool which is all about like ad generation, static media, even UGC content or different types of ad reporting and automation. So this entire section is all about like marketing, AI creation, visual creation. Then you move on to automation and intelligent agents. These automations, you're actually targeting the RevOps, admin, operations, the boring stuff that people dread. Those come here. But I can tell you, most of the money that I made last year is actually coming from those boring automations. Obviously, like visual and media creation, it looks magical. When somebody like it is a great way to lure people in. Everybody keeps talking about, okay, oh, how did you make that video? Obviously, there is value in visual and media AI creation, and but the automation and intelligent agents. You think about operations, invoice processing, for example, a very simple use case, hiring systems, recruitment ATS that you are building, report generation, these have a lot of contract due diligence. We worked with a fintech company, and a lot of our value basically came from that one single project. We built that for a fintech company, and they were like they were analyzing contracts for different banks in US. So we built that entire pipeline where they would just put in the contracts, invoices, and everything gets turned into a seamless pipeline where they can, at the end of the pipeline, they'll just simply see how much money you will be able to save if you just tweak this particular clause. That's the thing. And they just, pitch it. They send it to the banks that these are this is how much money we'll be able to save. And you just extrapolate it to 1 year, 7 years, the figure comes out in 5 million, 6 million. They'll be able to save $6 million in the next 5 years just by, we have already figured out. So they don't tell you the secret. They just tell you that, okay, this is how you would be able to save this much. Book a call with us, and then we'll actually walk you through. And that's how they land clients. So this entire pipeline was built by us. That's where you're generating. They were, generous enough to give us like a really good deal on that project. Then you move on to productization and development. Once you have nailed that, I personally feel a lot of people, a lot of our students come to us and they ask questions about, Harshad, uh, I have this idea. How do I get my first customer? Okay. And they ask questions about, I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know how to actually validate that idea. So productization and development actually, first of all, the one thing that I strongly believe in is the real validation is money validation. Is the person or the persona that you are trying to build your solution, your product, your service for, are they like paying upfront? are they ready to pay? Is this problem that you're solving, is this like painful enough that they're going to like, pay you upfront if you build that solution? That's one key insight that I like to follow myself. And that's where like productization and development actually come into picture. Then you get into, okay, I have these ideas. I can very quickly build these using tools like Claude Code, Cursor. I am spending, I think, at least 6 hours a day with Claude Code and being using it in Cursor and building. I think I'm working on at this point. I'm working on two projects, and my entire team is using Claude Code and Cursor to build out different like software. So you learn how to use these vibe coding platforms. You all must have heard of Lovable, Emergent, Bolt, all of these. And then the next level comes Claude Code, Cursor. You learn like this is, and I can tell you that you should spend time with all these command line interface terminal based tools or coding agents. Then comes the full stack AI product. That's what I told you. In this tweet that I can show you, sorry, the LinkedIn post, this was, I think, when was this? 4 months ago. Yeah. So 4 months ago, but I actually built it 6 months ago. I posted it later once we nailed it. So this was like one product, the complete, ads analytics report that we generated for, I think they're 8-figure direct to consumer e-commerce brand out of Hong Kong. So, and they were like spending a lot of money. Their usual ad spend every single day is 100,000 US dollars, and they wanted that this entire system because they were playing around with 50 ad accounts. So now when I built this, I wanted to turn this, and they got insane response from this. They were like they had two virtual assistants which were spending 5 to 6 hours every single day capturing all of this data and then generating a report so that the business can stay on top of which ads are performing, which ads are not performing, which accounts are performing, which accounts are not performing, which campaigns are performing, which campaigns are not performing. And given the ad creatives that are performing, which ones are the best? So this tool actually worked really well, and that's when I decided that I want to go full stack AI with this. I want to launch this product, and it is still in the works. I'm spending like I think the 6 to 8 hours that I said that I spent. There are two other engineers working with me on this project, but this is the main project that I spend like a lot of my time, and that's where we've reached. We want to really launch this product and make it really really good. So this is a complete phase, the complete journey of phase one, where you just nail the skill. Okay. Now, quick caution before I get started. I know that there are so many terms floating around in this in this whole AI era and this AI domain that a lot of people start feeling that this is not for me. A lot of people start. I think a very good example here is MCP. How did you understand what an MCP is and what it really is technically? Model Context Protocol. Okay, that in itself, like engineers, being an engineer myself, we do have that tendency to make those concepts sound more than what they are or technically complex. Okay, but they are not that complex. And that's how like I want to like tell you that whatever I like while the levels and whatever is coming ahead is going to be like it may sound a little technical, but all of this is actually possible. I spend like you spend 30 minutes learning about it, and it becomes clear, okay, how do I actually pull it into my practical workflows? Let me show you what we have as the roadmap. So this is Basecamp learning, which is level 1 and 2. There are a bunch of levels that I'm going to like walk you through. Level 1 and 2, in this phase one, is all about generative AI fundamentals, prompt engineering, prompting in the playground, the open AI playground that you have, trying out different techniques for prompting, the CoStar framework, installing LLMs locally if you want to work with open source large language models, or you want to tune them, fine tune them for your use case, for your data set, which you probably cannot share with the companies like OpenAI, which are like private and you cannot trust them. So introduction to RAG and building RAG locally. How do you do that? What sort of tools, what sort of agents allow you to do that. And then these are like a bunch of tools that you use, OpenAI and Gemini and OpenRouter through APIs. Now, things you can learn at this level. Obviously, installing those systems locally, as I've told you, mastering the local setup, understanding how RAG actually works, retrieval augmented generation. So, understanding vector databases, understanding chunking, basic model fine tuning, the open source setup, converting those documents for search. How do you parse those documents? Then building a custom query engine with RAG, and finally, you can convert any API into an MCP server. That's how easy it is. They've made it sound so complex. The model context protocol. By the way, like I have a session today with with a cohort of Catalyst where I am teaching this and like exact same concept of MCP server and how easy it is for anyone to turn the agents that you've built, the N8N agents that you've built. How about if you could just invoke that workflow within your chat gpt? You have chat gpt, you must have heard about custom gpts. What if the N8N workflow that you have could be triggered directly from chat gpt by chatting in the chat that you have? All of those systems are available and are possible because of MCP. Level 1 and 2 is all about build and send. Launch a prompt engineering studio. There are so many pipelines, so many guides, Gumroad packs that I've seen. People are just selling, and you can find a lot of these on GitHub as well. There are people, like entire repositories where you'll find different types of prompting techniques, different prompts, actual prompts that you can use for, let's say, customer support, for sales, for voice receptionists, all of these. This entire prompt engineering studio you can sell yourself, then offer rack powered system. These are like systems that you can sell out of level 1 and 2 itself. The rack powered search, this again comes for the boring solutions that I continue to talk about. A lot of people have come and said that we have a lot of documentation. There are so many different PDFs, images, contracts, with which we want to like chat and be able to extract the right answers. So this become a very prominent rag boring automation opportunity, which you can start offering after level 1 and 2. Then we have build and sell custom AI assistants for businesses. This is where like we are currently. Besides building the product, this is one thing that we do. We build like custom AI solutions for all sorts of brands, and that's exactly what I'm teaching in my in the first cohort as well. So these are the different types of prompting techniques that you learn. Graph of thoughts, tree of thoughts, then there is multiple chain of thought reasoning that you would have like, at least heard of. There are so many different techniques, and now there are so many other artifacts coming into picture. You all must have heard of Claude skills that is coming up. How do you make sub agents? How do you build those multi-agent systems? Those types of things. You have LiboChat. These are the kind of local systems that you can actually build for yourself, everything running locally for free. And the tool stack, I'm not saying that you have to like learn all of these. It all comes down to what use case you have, the problem that you have, and then you choose. You need to build the ability to figure out what all you would need for the use case. So it again comes down to the custom solution that you want to build. This is the complete like the superset sort of what you need for building those solutions. Now, depending upon, but in level 1 and 2, you end up mastering these or a subset of these. This is the complete like superset. Level 3 in the Basecamp learning. You gain the good understanding of diffusion model. How do you use them in image generation, video generation? Then master techniques to manipulate, edit, and enhance those images. How do you go about using tools to enhance and make them part of your N8N agent or your code-based agent if you're building something using, let's say, the agent SDK. Master techniques, this is done. So created and transformed videos through AI-driven generation and editing tools. This is exactly what WebHub does at scale. Generating those videos using tools like Hagen that you see here. We're using my agency currently is using a lot of like Veo 3.1, Nano Banana Pro, Kling AI. We have tried Higgsfield as well. And Runway and Replicate is just the API provider. How do you use all the different types of models that come into market with one single subscription? That's what like Replicate does for you. It's sort of like Open Router, but for actual, like we use it for image and video generation, all the new models that come. Then once level 3 is completed, you understand AI and video generation is becoming easier. I can now put together multiple pieces of information to turn them into an actual video. How do I go about generating my images from Nano Banana? How do I maintain that character consistency across different frames? Because Vio is giving you 8-second video or 12-second video. Then how do you turn that 12-second, the end of 12-second should basically continue from the next segment, next 12 seconds. So character consistency, turning those images into videos. How do you prompt those? How do you automate this entire pipeline? All these things. But can you, okay, so can you really turn your digital creations into real world assets like 3D models, high quality prints, interactive experiences? And this is the craziest part here, actually. And I learned it from Weber. He was mentioning that he was talking to I was in Weber's office that day, and he was mentioning that he talked to the MR group. I don't know if he has told you that story, but he was talking to the MR group in UAE, and they're, by the way, like biggest out there. MR Constructions. They built the Dubai Mall, billion-dollar projects, and Burj Khalifa. They have built those types of buildings, and the director, the chairman himself was like Weber, he asked Weber, like, how do you make all of these videos? And he wanted to invest in AI. He was like, what if I could provide an experience to my customers that they should be able to feel what we are building here? So Weber then suggested that what if you can actually create a video of your potential client who's like, and these properties are, by the way, $5 million, $10 million. So it's like super rich, elite people buying those apartments and studios and condos. So they were like, Weber suggested we'll create a variation like the video of them actually coming into the property and resting in the living area, cooking in the kitchen. How does relaxing in that space actually look like? And that those are the kind of things that are possible. And the chairman was so like awestruck. He was like, okay, is that really possible? Can we really do that? So those are the kind of like projects these people are trying to build, and that's the opportunity that AI generation actually opens up. Now, things you can learn. As I told you, these are like a bunch of like complete matrix. We will give you as part of the PDF as well. We'll just go over it. So any style, aesthetic, realistic photo, imaginative art. I can like show you. This was like one. I'm spending like a lot of time these days creating a lot of like these Claude skills. And this was like, for example, this is like completely automated. This LinkedIn carousel. So I'm just testing everything out with my LinkedIn community as well. This is the 10 Claude Code tips. The carousel, if it loads, I don't know what's wrong with my internet. This carousel, it has 10 images, and this is like all like auto generated. I haven't done anything. I've just created a pipeline, a complete skill to break anything down into like simple steps. I just provided, sometimes I provide my own content roughly, and then or I give you some link and it generates that entire process, like this entire LinkedIn carousel for me. So this is the one that I had this, which basically contains all the Claude Code tips that one needs to do. So this was all like AI generated. Okay, but the information is correct. And AI, since these image models have reached the stage, so we can definitely leverage them for these types of like stuff. And you can think of it, it can go in multiple different directions. So tools you should master when for visual creation, media generation. There's Night Cafe, there's Higgsfield, there's Comfy UI. Just like N8N, there is Comfy UI for those sort of like media generation, editing. There's a lot possible when you master Comfy UI. There's VO3, Sora, all of these platforms you would have heard of already. Crea AI is another for building automations in the media space, in the marketing space. Has a lot of potential if you learn how to use this. Replicate, I told you, HeyGen for avatars, creating those videos with with your own face or the character, if you are building it for any third party. Then we have Flow, Google Flow, to get that character consistency build, like stitch multiple footages together through VO 3.1 and turn it into a movie. Here are a few glimpses of what you learn. So, for example, the Comfy UI. I'm sure after the you've built N8N agents, now if I would have showed you 2 days ago, you would be like, okay, I'm not sure whether this works or not. Okay, this is a lot for me to consume. So now that you've built those N8N agents yourself, this is actually possible. This is the system. You actually understand that it would not be that hard. I'll be able to draw what is the image coming out of this particular node. How do I take it to edit it? How do I add some other image, other styling on top of it? Everything is possible within Comfy UI. You don't need to be, by the way, intimidated by this at all. All of this is like simple steps. Once you understand, okay, what is the next step? What is the next step? What is the next step? You continue to build this, and you will be able to build something like this all by yourself. And then there is something called as open pose. You can just control the image structure composition using something called as open pose. These are like I giving you the ideas that are possible. That's already there in the market, which are not very well known. Okay. Then we have Civit AI, open source project. Flora, I talked about. How do you go? This is like this is sort of like N8N, but in a visual appeal. You see the image. How do you want to change that image? What sort of styling you want to generate? So this is Comfy UI, but in a more visually appealing manner, where you can just describe, this was the image generated. You describe the prompt. How do you want to change it? And what are the changes you want? You can just do this directly, and it'll just continue to, this is the image, I want to turn this into a video, and what else do you want to add on top of the video? How do you change the image? Everything is visually possible. So this is N8N, but for images and videos, media generation. Leverage state of the art AI models. So a lot of these are like open source tools that we have here. So you learn how do you go about leveraging those APIs, endpoints, and test those systems out for yourself. So these models for the local or the open source models that are out there, you can try them out using Hugging Face, which is the provider, and a lot of these models get listed on the platform. So level 3, you're building those visual solutions for your clients. I would say, if I tie it back to, there's a dedicated section where we spend multiple weeks just on building the visual solution. Okay. So I would say, if you are in level 3 at any point in your career, level 3 is basically you think about building marketing solution. Level 3 you can think of as the marketing solution, marketing automation. That's the business function that you are basically targeting. Then you start a content side hustle or micro agency. I can tell you, I was talking to this person, PJ is. So PJ is, they run a complete agency. They run an advertisement agency. So all the top quality ads that you see, he has created ads for all the top brands out there. Okay. Uh, I don't know if you've heard of Lindy, and a lot of other platforms. He has created those completely AI ads. He does AI ad filmmaking, and they perform so well. He charges 25 to 30,000 US dollars per project. Okay, that's the scale. Obviously, like, it has a team and they have editors and all of those things, but that's the scale that they are operating at. For one single ad, which is like 1 or 2 minutes, they charge 25,000, 30,000, and maybe more now. I talked to him, like, I think 2, 3 months ago. Then sell digital products, build and sell prompt packs, custom voice models, avatar templates, or even bundles of ad creatives for your niches. So that's the potential. You can create that. These are the UGC videos that I am creating. These are like different types. So one of my solution that was getting sold off the shelf itself. I don't know. Let me just. So there's a video on my YouTube channel. So let me show you. This is, yeah, this one. fully automated ads. This right here. So this video, actually, I showed a workflow where you can like automate complete video analysis, advertisement generation, UGC ad. AI UGC is like huge. And this workflow that I showed here, we took some time to build it. I built it in Gumloop. Now I built it in all the different platforms. So this was getting sold off the shelf. People were like, I just need this. You just give it to me. You don't build it for me. I'll pay you this much. You just give it back to me, just sell it to me with the documentation of how to set it up. That's it. Okay. So sell digital products. That's the level 3. Level 3 is, if you have to keep in mind, level 1 and 2, building those local mastery, RAG solutions, boring automations, once you have understood. Level 3 is all about marketing solution. Now we are at level 4. Level 4 is build basics of those automations. Okay, using those N8N, Slack, Google Sheets, VAPI, voice agents. These are other sets of systems which the sales team would need. Okay, how to integrate and manage a single agent within N8N, understanding triggers and actions. So you spend a lot of time within N8N and building a lot of these productivity-based automations, Google Sheets, managing your data, managing your databases, understanding how it connects with Superbases. If you want to go further than Google Sheets, how do you actually create a database and chat with the database pretty quickly? VAPI and retail AI, these are your voice receptionists. Another huge area where people reach out to us and say that, Harshit, can you build a voice receptionist who says who can handle all the incoming calls or make for outreach as well, can make outbound calls. So VAPI and retail AI to build those voice-based workflows. Okay, so those receptionists will be making the calls, handling all the incoming queries. You can add your knowledge base on top so that they are providing responses, not based on a script, but on actual policies and the documents that you have. Then set up AI driven. Set up AI driven systems to launch products and track your progress in real time. So you want to run like an entire marketing campaign, but on autopilot. So these are the things that you can learn. Set up smart bots that instantly capture the new lead. All of these, like everything getting connected. The marketing is going to generate a lot of leads for you. These leads need to be managed as well. So how do you create a workflow that is processing all the incoming leads and then getting passed through to other systems, or you are getting notified that this is what is coming next? Okay. Launch and run complete marketing campaigns on autopilot, from generating fresh content to scheduling posts, tracking everything. Link tools, email, CRM. Anytime a new lead comes in, goes directly to our CRM calendars. Everyone gets notified that there is a new lead in the pipeline. And if you've added the retail or the VAPI outreach voice agent, then they can make the call as well. If you have got the details of the person in your CRM with their phone number in, the model would not take long. That agent would start reaching out to them and will pitch your product, your service to your leads. Develop a human in the loop agent that books, updates, and manages the meeting. That's what we talked about. Launch AI-driven digital businesses with Gumroad. So complete automation product. Even if you're not selling a service, you might end up creating a lot of things. For example, the repository of prompts that you have, or a repository of image generation, advertisement. You can think of prompts in different business functions as well. Now there are so many things people are talking about. I told you Cloud Skills is coming up as the new thing that people would start selling, and it is already happening. People are looking for skills. This is like one skill that I used, that I showed you for that LinkedIn carousel. I have 15 other skills like this that can actually manage, that's actually managing my content. And I'm not talking about it because I want to like sell it or anything. I'm just testing it out for myself because I myself need that for a lot of things that we do at our organization. So I'm just testing a lot of these things out, improving those skills, improving those automations and the scripts and how to run them at scale. So all of these things are possible at this level 4. Tools you should master at this stage: Zapier, Make, Agent Studio, ChatGPT that OpenAI introduced, webhooks, Postman, N8N, Relevance AI. I wouldn't say that you need all of these. This is again a superset here. But if you master, for example, automation, you master N8N, that's more than enough. You know that you have a framework, you have a tool that allows you to automate a lot of these processes that people keep talking about. You understand how you can connect your N8N to an application that you're building within Emergent, Cursor, or whatever coding tool that you're using, software vibe coding tool that you're using. How do you connect those? So personally, one uh, a prototype mechanism that we have set up within our organization is you build the N8N backend pretty quickly, and you build the front end using Lovable or Bolt or Emergent. Okay, you connect it through this webhook. You have your backend, your automations running on N8N. Anytime somebody fills up a form, that N8N workflow runs. Anybody wants to chat with what is your return policy on my website, the N8N RAG agent provides that response. All of these are possible at this stage. So a few glimpses. So these are like a bunch of RAG-based agents that we build using Supabase as well. Automate end-to-end cold calling processed by intelligently combining web scraping, AI-powered research, WhatsApp messaging, intelligent support system that leverages data responses for your comprehensive like sprint status analysis, for operations, for productivity, for running those software projects, or even like any type of project where you're using Asana or any task management software like Notion and things like those. So level 4 is all about become your MCP integration, the operations that we talked about, building those core agents, and MCP become like a huge part of it because you want to like be able to connect your tools, your automations to different other AI softwares like ChatGPT and Claude that you're using. Build AI agent products for or micro tools, which is what like I'm doing. I'm building like a lot of these micro tools, lovable apps, emergent apps, which are hooked up with my N8N backend, and then AI consultant for startups or enterprises. At this stage, once you have spent building a lot of these use cases, building a lot of these automations, you reach a stage where you are able to, provide value to enterprises, where you know that okay, what all tools, what all is possible within their business function. And even if you're not able to provide value right there, you would know where to go and how to search for it, how to get answers and test them out yourself. That's the kind of confidence that you will be able to like carry. Once you reach level 5, this is where I would say if you're doing this and trying to like hike this mountain, learn to think like a product expert. Focus on like a real user problem. That's what like Y Combinator, I don't know how many of you have heard of it, but they keep emphasizing on how important it is for you to, if you're building any sort of prototype using Bolt or Lovable, any product POC. You can now apply, by the way, to a lot of these accelerators with just your prototype, which you have built on Bolt or Lovable. I've met real organizations, companies, startups that are getting funded based on an N8N automation. They just built a hiring pipeline, created like a recruitment solution on N8N, and they went ahead, applied to Lovable, or applied to Y Combinator, got $500,000. So they just spent 3 months there, understood the basics of tech, API, no-code tools, databases, turned ideas into working prototypes using Bolt and Lovable, built and launched a real MVP using tools like these, and then tested ideas in the real world, gathered feedback, and improved it. So Y Combinator says that you continue to talk to your actual customers. That's what I was mentioning about validation. With if you start off that route, freelancer agency, you figure out okay what these companies are facing in terms of the pain points that you want to solve. Then you already have customers, you continue to talk to them, and then you realize okay, this is the pathway that I want to like continue on, and the feedback that they're providing you incorporate in your product, and that's how you basically make it something that's worth paying for. Okay. So at this point, you want to ask yourself, do you know how to make apps that work for many users at the same time? Can you connect AI tools and APIs? Do you know how to automate the launch process so it is fast and error-free? Do you know how to make your N8N automations error-proof? How do you put guardrails into it? Can you combine those no-code tools with AI to create full products? The N8N backend plus this, and then how the next step is, as I told you, complete code-based solution. That's when you go into like Cursor and you if you have some interest, you can probably hire engineers as well and turn this into like a whole product. But you would have hit product market fit. That means, people are ready to pay for your solutions way before. So things you can learn at this stage. I think we've covered like a lot of these. Again, will be part of your complete PDF that we'll be sharing with you. Level 5. Nice. Offer AI app development for founders and creators. So I know people who are just building landing pages, obviously like sophisticated landing pages, and they are just selling that service, that we build landing pages for you, and they just say that we use AI to build everything, but we'll add those illustrations, those 3D views, and we'll make your landing page look immaculate. So that's the kind of services you can start offering at this stage, level 5. Offer AI app development for founders and creators because they don't have time to do this. Last to last night, I was talking to this person who was like, "Hey, can we just connect here? And I'm building this directory application. I saw you covering this on YouTube. Can you do this for me? I don't have time." So those are kind of things that are possible here. Productize your service, build and sell access to a growing collection of AI wrappers marketed as a digital assistant library. You would have seen people create these prompts that this complete prompt pack is actually running my business, handling my marketing automations, my reports, my briefs, everything, and then they sell it as Gumroad. That's the kind of thing. Like you productize the service that you are offering, you turn it into an actual product, and then you sell it. That's like productizing the only service. For example, if you're creating ads for brands, can you actually turn it into a product so that people can come and use it by themselves? What I'm doing with this tool right here. So we are productizing. This was earlier services. We used to do it. So actually, they used to do it through VAs. We just looked at that service model and we productized it. Build and sell micro SaaS tool. So create tiny useful apps powered by that AI that actually solve one clear problem. There are many, many examples out there on the internet. You should take time to actually look at YouTube and the kind of apps people are building. You see any app on App Store, Play Store, you can figure out, okay, let's say this app is doing, for example, MyFitnessPal. It gives you all the nutrition, that is nutrition breakdown of your food, how much protein there is, how much carbs there is, fats. That's like solving one. These are like all these micro tools, micro apps that you can build. Then micro SaaS tools again comes down to simple problem that you're solving. These agents that you are building within N8N, all these can be turned into micro SaaS tools. Here are a few things that we have built. So the complete vibe stack. We develop test cases, engineer preliminary prompt, test the prompt against the against the use cases, and then define the prompt, share the polished prompt, and that's the complete pipeline. Mastering the art of talking to a lot of these applications. Then there is another thing of how to actually create specs. Okay, specification for your products. So spec-driven development is something that you will hear a lot more in the software engineering era. If you're using tools, this has not become very common yet. In 1 to 2 months, you'll start hearing about spec-driven development. That's the new way of software development. Build a robust enterprise grade app using IDE with prompting. So I mentioned Cursor, Claude Code. This is where like vibe coding, vibe debugging, vibe configuring. This entire pipeline gets captured through a layer of these tools when you start going from N8N to Lovable to Cursor to then using Claude Code and running it in your terminal, where you don't need code anywhere. You just learn the system. You just learn what backend is, what front end is. It's easy for you to learn system design than to actually spend time learning JavaScript or Python at this point. Because for Python, these tools can write way better code than you and I can. Great. That's not all. You have a reviewer tool, code review. So Code Rabbit for doing your code review. Again, this is getting, you can build your own pipelines, replicate Code Rabbit as well by creating sub agents that actually review your code. Deploy and get your first 100 users. That's the complete pipeline in the productization and the development phase. We were ready, time to get serious about the distribution. So that's where the phase two now comes in. Once you have spent this much time building these many agents, these many prototypes, these many products, you will know, okay, I need a way to actually sell this. I just can't continue to build it on, like, stack it one on top of another, because you're just building it from your assumptions or from a small set of feedback that you have got from, let's say, LinkedIn or your friends. But as I told you, the real validation comes from people paying for your products. That's the real validation that you all are actually seeking. And this is where distribution becomes key. Okay. So integrate a payment gateway, start earning your dollars. So Stripe integration. The real question is, how do you turn these skills into income product? So I can see there are four kinds of people in this call. This is the complete journey that I think a lot of you, this is at least like my journey. I was a working professional, left my job, became a freelancer. Then I became an agency owner and entrepreneur. I've seen all of these phases. Let me tell you what we have for each one of you who is present here. Working professionals, I would suggest, if you're a working professional and you want to like continue, upgrading yourself in AI. So here's the traditional careers. You are wondering, how can AI basically help you grow in your current company, increase my efficiency or the income that you're earning at the moment. So you can use AI to automate the work tasks, the productivity, how you are managing everything, add value within your organization. You can offer your AI expertise for side income, increase your income potential. So you can become like, you can do pick up some client projects. And this is something that I am seeing like happening within the cohort that we teach. So people reach out that this is the requirement that I have, and somebody who's already working has time, they just partner up and they deliver projects. Take on AI powered side projects like content generation, data analysis, automation. This is like the easiest bit. If you are already an analyst, you're already crunching a lot of data, I'm sure that entire process can be automated and you can start delivering value there itself. 1% company. I was a 1% company for most of 2025. So you can build an army of AI agents that can automate lead outreach, qualification, conversion, everything that's coming into the picture. Meeting transcript, proposal generation, onboarding a new client, everything that gets automated through AI. So you can build systems that is actually running your 1% company. So deliver those high value solutions that attract clients looking for cost effective and automated solutions. There are many, many agencies. I cover this in detail, how to find your customers, how to find agencies, what are the avenues to look at, and how do you go about proposing it. Okay, this entire, and this is something that you can learn even if you want to do it yourself. Yes, but this is the possibility. We are looking at the potential and companies that are going to be unicorn, if not unicorn, multi-million dollar companies with just single founder. Agency owner. So automate repetitive tasks. This is something that we do. Streamline client campaigns, save time, improve client communication efficiency, teach clients how to integrate AI into their businesses. So this is exactly what you learn and will then continue to share to other people as well. So if you learn how to build this agent, you can obviously start offering that entire system as a solution as part of your agency, and do it for other companies as well. Startup founder, as you all know, you can build like these products. Now that the gap between technical people, the software, and non-technical people, this gap is actually closing. And it opens up this opportunity to build either these SaaS products or AI native projects or agents, and anybody can do it. that opens up for the opportunity for all of you to become a startup founder. If you have been like sleeping on that idea just because you were thinking that maybe, I won't be able to code it, I won't be able to run the system, you can start building the POC. You can get it done within 1 or 2 days. Get to creating a video on top of it, pitch it to people, see what the feedback is, and then you continue to build on top of it. If there is initial interest, you spend more and more time on it. Once you get to a stage where people are ready to pay for it, that's when you can raise funds, you can hire people, you can hire a dev because you've already got some clients who want to use that system. So you start small and then you scale it up. AI is not just for tech expert, as I was saying. It's for everyone. So no matter what your background, your career stage is, I told you, working professional, freelancer, agency owner, or entrepreneur, the startup founder, AI gives you now a lot of these tools to innovate, scale, and generate like new revenue streams. So it's time to like start monetizing your AI skill. And the good news here is that you learn everything, and that will help you decide like the best route for you. Okay, what is, because you're again trekking a mountain, and a lot of you will take different routes. Obviously that's common, right? Like it is going to be obvious that you will take different routes, and for every single route there's a way to navigate. Every single checkpoint, you will have questions, and that's what I had. I still have it. Like I still need mentors. I reach out to. I'm facing this problem. I don't know how to move past this. And for a lot of you, I think it would be the same. You'll need answers at every single stage, be it technical or business oriented. So we're not going to give you like just one playbook. I mentioned about the 0 to 10K and then 10 to 25K, 25K to 100,000. So all of these playbooks are available with us. We are not going to give you one. We're going to give you everything that we have with us. Your skill becomes a system, and that system basically becomes a business. That is the route that we all want you to take. Your skill, services, system, business. That's the path that AI has actually opened up. And it is now easier and easier. You can actually believe this. Before AI, it would have become very difficult. It just looks good on paper. I would agree with you. But with AI, I think this has become very easy. You've learned the tools, you've built the projects in phase one, but why aren't you making your first 5K, 50K, 500K yet? So knowing these tools is not the same as knowing how to make money with them. That's where the phase two actually is coming into picture. So how to identify and capture high value problems, how to productize those solutions, how to acquire your first paying customers, craft high value offers, how to deliver, automate, how to scale the distribution. We have this entire phase that actually captures this one single thing. So you don't need more tools, you need a playbook to monetize. And many times I've just felt that I had to let go of my build first approach, because being an engineer, I tend to like get started with products. This is something that I learned the hard way, that I don't need to like build first. I actually need to like figure out whether this idea is something that people need. This tool, this automation, this agent that I'm thinking of, whatever it is, do people really need it? So I try to figure out, okay, how do I validate my ideas quickly? What are the ways to do that? What are the playbooks that will allow me to get that validation quickly? And then I already know N8N, because you have gone through phase one. You'll be able to do it very quickly. So you'll understand how to monetize everything that you've learned in phase one through these approaches, through these playbooks. So phase two is all about productize the AI skills, build AI first distribution systems through your social channels, craft high value high value selling offers, and then scale your monetization systems. The step by step pathway, and at every single stage you will get those playbooks on what you actually need to do, and what are the different avenues you can take depending upon where you're coming from. So as I told you, you are in one of those buckets, working professional, freelancers. You'll have different sorts of playbooks, and we'll share like resources for uh, all of you for every single bucket in each of these sections. So we started as a skill that becomes a service. That service then becomes a system, and that system then can become an AI powered business. So now critical distinction is we will guide you, you will climb. Okay. So there is definitely so proven routes that you can take, proven solutions that you can deploy, expert guidance and support. So if you get stuck, you have obviously there's going to be such a big community. I now see that a lot of your fellow climbers, so people who are there in our current cohort, a lot of them are have like partnered up with each other. They are offering solutions. They are also solving each other's problem. So it doesn't even like reach me. I obviously, we take those Q&A. There is support for everything that you're learning, but now people have just started to learn on their own, and they're like offering solutions and services. So it's just sometimes very I get shocked myself that this is now happening right in front of my eyes. And what you must have is the commitment to do the work, persistence to continue going, because I'm not saying that you'll just find everything in day one. It'll take time. I told you, I figured out my first thing in 8 months that I can actually like focus on, spend time on, and continue to deliver as a service myself. And then the willingness to push beyond your comfort zone. Now, the moment of truth is most people say that, they'll stay at base camp. They'll be like, okay, I know AI agents. That's, what I wanted to learn. And they'll think that they have made it. They've understood that what N8N is. I can tell you at this point, almost everyone knows what N8N is. Okay. So they have at least heard of or seen those templates where those nodes are getting connected. It's like flowchart type of tool, but that's not the game. I looked at N8N, I think March 2024. That's when I saw N8N, and I was like, I just, skimmed past it. And then coming back to February 2025, March also, I didn't spend a lot of time doing N8N. I saw it growing in May and June. That's when I was like, this tool is becoming so massive at this point, and I need to continue to spend more and more time. And as I spend more time, I can tell you even today, I'm still learning about this tool for two reasons. One is the whole space is evolving so fast, N8N is evolving so fast, and there is so much to learn. I don't know about every single business function and all the possibilities that are there. So I also continue to spend more and more time. And it takes time to actually find out that gap. And once you figure out that gap, that actually prints money for you. Now, there are two parts from here. You have the roadmap. I've spoken about all the levels, all the phases that you can go through. Now, you can climb on your own, and there is no problem with that. You can decide to say that, okay, I want to do this myself. Thanks for giving me this roadmap, this PDF, everything. That's totally fine. There is another thing that you all need to be aware of. The second step is, do you want us to guide you in this attempt? You want to climb Everest? If you want, we can help you with this entire system, the routes that we have taken, the proven solutions that actually get sold to you, okay, that you can actually start selling to people that actually make money for you. Okay, and the last thing is, this is where we introduce you to the first 6-month AI Catalyst program. This is not listed on our platform because we have kept it very sacred, and this is not something. This is something that we are doing it for a small set of people, and this allows you to go through this entire journey that I myself have undergone. So product marketing management. So super excited to basically be putting this right in front of you, the complete Catalyst program, and we're getting like, I can tell you, I'm getting like so much insane like feedback, and just looking at people discussing those solutions and selling it to them, and then this person who was like working professional, because there were people who were doing this as freelancers and agency owners themselves, and I saw a bunch of these working professionals coming to me and telling me that they got a salary raise because they built a solution and sold it to, gave it to their organization. That's the kind of like things that I continue to hear almost like every single day now. Program structure, phase one, advanced learning and building, which is 4 months. And phase two is the AI-led distribution, something that you'll be able to do using Nano Banana and these AI generation. If you are creating your avatar using HeyGen, a lot of these, and then how do you scale those systems, getting all of those playbooks. So these are the two phases that you can think of. That's the complete roadmap that we have given you. That's exactly how we've structured the program as well. And who is this for? As I told you, working professionals who want to become irreplaceable AI leaders. And I can tell you this because I'm hearing from so many corporates that my workforce is not learning how to use AI. Every founder, every manager, every director, every senior vice president of these organizations, they need you to learn AI. They're just expecting that my employees will go and they will learn AI on their own. Okay, but that's not the case. Employees are basically they're saying that okay, if the company is going to teach us AI, then only we are going to learn. We are coming here for 8 hours. We're going to spend 4 hours learning AI. Only then we'll do it. We are not going to spend our weekends. You guys have come here to learn it on your own at your own time. You should be rewarded for it. That's the kind of stories you get to hear, and you become irreplaceable, obviously. Anyone serious about winning in the AI first world, and even if you like pitch your AI solution within your organization, people will start saying, your manager at least will notice that I don't want to get rid of this person. This person can actually save me as well from getting fired. And we all understand there is a bloodbath out there when it comes to jobs. They are getting replaced, whether somebody likes it or not. People who know AI are going to get saved here. Entrepreneurs who want to build AI powered businesses, aspiring consultants who want to like command that premium fee. Everything gets captured. These are all of you here for present. So this is for these types of persona. If you identify with any one of these, I think this is going to be a good fit for you. Again, it's very important for you to realize that this program is not for everybody. If you're thinking that you'll make, if you'll get rich quickly, that's please don't join. This is not for people who are looking for those get rich quick schemes. This is more about arbitrage and spotting the gaps. Anyone expecting us to do the work for you, we won't be doing the work for you. You will have to build your own solution. We won't be building those for you. We are there to guide you, to direct you, to help you. Anyone expecting guaranteed outcomes without effort, please, this is like I cannot emphasize on this. If you are just expecting that things will just happen because you're part of the cohort, no, you'll have to put in the effort. If you have missed sessions, go back, watch them, watch the recording, build the solutions, look at the workflows that we have provided, look at the JSONs that we have provided, look at the playbooks that we have given you, and then start applying them step by step. Do those exercises and you'll see the results. Those who are not willing to commit 9 to 10 hours a week, that's the minimum requirement that we feel is required. So obviously, like we do like 2 hours, 3 hours sessions. So you have to spend like 4 or 5 hours at least in the sessions, and then there is Q&A and some effort that you'll have to put on your own. How it works, we do sessions Saturday and Sunday, 7:30 p.m. India time, 10:30 p.m. Till 10:30 p.m. India time, and then 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Eastern time zone. And then expert instruction, obviously, learn from the AI leaders. We are bringing people. I do take a lot of sessions there, and then obviously we are bringing in experts who are in media generation expert, WhatsApp agency, lead outreach, voice agents. There are experts in a lot of these, proven areas where you get a lot of demand from people. So people come in and they are going to like teach you everything that you need and understand what sort of solutions are getting sold and how to build those scalable solutions. Then community support, cohort-based learning with your global peers. That's what I'm telling you. I see the WhatsApp group every single day. I'm like, these guys are just killing it out there. They're like, solving each other's problems, sharing playbooks, sharing documentation. Somebody is asking, how do I install N8N on AWS? People are sharing their complete playbooks and the SOP to do that on AWS step by step. Those are the kind of things that I see. And I just got a new client. I just got a raise. Those are the kind of things that you hear about in those sort of groups. So, how did you want to know the fee for the program? Let me just reveal the price here. So the AI Catalyst Fellowship Program, it comes at this special price of 9,995 US dollars. 4 months of advanced learning and building, 2 months of learning AI led distribution, total 6 months, and then lifetime access to generative AI, the community that you will be a part of. So I'll let Bharadwaj talk more about this price and how you can avail the program.
All right, just give me a moment. And people, if you're thinking that there's some payment link that will be dropped and you'll be looking forward to pay, just for people, if you have a great product, that is great. But to sell and take that great product to the market, you need to have the greatest distribution, right? Why is a tool like Perplexity excelling today? Why is a tool like ChatGPT excelling today? Why is a tool like Gemini is so popular? Because Google has the highest distribution. It's been here for decades now. So that is the reason why it's very easy for you, very easy for Google. But for you who are starting your business today or starting your product today, which is an AI built product, all you need is distribution. How do you build that? There is an AI content engine that will help you get to the distribution as possible as you can. Like right now in social media, let's say LinkedIn and Instagram, 10,000 followers is no more a new thing. Like 100K is a new 10K on Instagram or LinkedIn, right? If you're reaching 100K, okay, that's base. Now next is 1 million. Now all these influencers or content creators are looking for reaching 1 billion. Who is the next first 1 billion creator, right? So that's where the entire market is heading towards. When I talk about the distribution market, this is how the distribution market is looking like. Now coming to how do you book your slot? Like I said, there's an interview. It's not a direct pay and get that you'll be entering into this program. I will quickly share how you can book your slot for the program. Here is how you should be booking your slot. Let me open up. So there you go. This is a Calendly link that is in the chat. The moment you click on it, you will see our Outskill, logo here. So you can select any of these dates. Okay, you can select any of these dates to book your slots to get the interview, right? So this is something that you will have to do to book your slot to get the interview sorted, and our AI expert will connect with you. And in fact, oh, by the way, you need to enter your details as well. The moment you select your slot, you need to enter your details. You need to enter the industry that you're coming in from, and you need to give us the details, probably like your LinkedIn. This will help our interviewer also prepare better on what you do, so that the conversation is much more fruitful. So please be mindful about all the details that you're filling here: your name, email, and number, and the industry that you're coming in from, the years of experience, and your willingness to be hands-on with AI, and LinkedIn URL. If you don't have a LinkedIn URL, that's fine. But if you have it, please do submit, and you click on schedule event. That schedules the event. That's about AI Catalyst Fellowship Program. I repeat, people, this is a program that is costed at 1,95,000 rupees INR, only for people who are attending this uh, only for people who are attending this uh, AI agents and automation bootcamp, which is a pilot program that we did. And since yesterday, I've been receiving great response from all of you in the chat. So I will give you some time, but thank you so much, Harshit, for doing the connecting the dots session. And I'm sure most of them will look forward to you inside the Catalyst as well if they get accepted into the program. Looking forward to see you, Harshit, in some other session. Thank you so much. People, the link is in the chat. You can go ahead. The next session